Hello, you everybody. Welcome back to the Movie Pod. My name is Isaac, and in the second half of this episode, maybe like this first quarter, I will be joined by our co-host Joseph, as we will be doing our 2023 films ranked. I watched 40 films in the year of 2023. Joseph watched 20. So I'm going to do my 40th to 21st, and then we'll jump on call with Joseph and we'll go through both of our top 20 movies of 2023. Now, I know we are a bit late to this. It's currently the 7th of February. Our schedules haven't lined up recently, Joseph and I's. I'm back at school. Me and Joseph have already recorded our bit together. I'm just going back to do my first 40th to 21st. It's been about 5-6 days actually since me and Joseph recorded, and I'm just coming back to do the start of the video. Since then, Carl Weathers unfortunately passed away. I've posted about it on social media and all over Instagram, TikTok, made some nice edits, not edits, but just in memory of Carl Weathers. And my dad woke me up 6 o'clock in the morning here in Australia on Saturday, and said Carl Weathers passed away. Apollo Creed, that's what I know him for, obviously in Mandalorian 2 as Grief Karga. And I just want to say rest in peace, Carl Weathers. So that's why if Joseph and I don't mention it, it's because we've already filmed our part. We also mention that the Movie Pod Film Awards are coming this Saturday. We mean last Saturday, because as I said, I've already filmed that part with Joseph. I just haven't had time to come back and do this intro bit and my 40th to 21st, if that makes sense. But yeah, rest in peace to Carl Weathers. You will be missed. I cannot believe you're gone. I really can't. I've watched Sly's video he posted on Instagram many times, and it just shatters my heart. We lost Burt Young last year, now Carl Weathers. I can't believe he's gone. Yeah, just rest in peace, Carl Weathers. As you guys know, Rocky is my favorite movies. My dad introduced me to them when I was a kid, and Rocky's always just been my thing. Obviously, Star Wars is my big thing because Star Wars is a lot bigger and wider, but Rocky is the franchise that's at heart with me. Rocky 1 to 4, even Rocky 1 to 6, and then obviously the Creed spin-offs. Definitely not as good as the Rockies, but they're still enjoyable. And I hope the Rocky franchise doesn't get exploited now that, Sylvester Stallone unfortunately doesn't have any rights to it, or it's all complicated. But rest in peace, Carl Weathers. Prayers going out to your family. I hope you're resting well. Keep fighting. Be peace. But let's get into our 2023 films ranked. Sorry we are a bit late, but that's it. That's life. Me and Joseph are trying to get a lot more consistent. Back at school, I think March we'll hammer it down. We'll probably be slow until maybe end of March, start of April, so expect us to be slow then. Bad Batch Season 3 comes out soon, so we'll do our weekly reviews on that. I'm still going to do my weekly reactions to Daredevil, so there'll be 2 videos coming out weekly once Bad Batch drops. But podcast episodes like these ones, we haven't really been on them lately, What Decade Produces the Best Movies, that series. We did part 2, which was 1980s, and we said we were going to do part 90s real soon. That was back in August last year, 6 months ago. So we just need to get consistent. I think once Joseph and I are able to do a physical podcast together, it's going to be a lot easier. We are planning that. We did plan it for February, but it's all getting pushed back. End of March, start of April, around then, the Movie Pod is going to be big. Trust me, it's booked in. It's booked in for then. I can't change it. It's booked in for end of March, start of April. Physical Movie Pod podcast coming soon with both Joseph and I. Joseph's face reveal. Big things coming then. Just for now, until then, we're going to be taking it slow. But first, when we get to the quarterway mark throughout the year, which will be April, it's going to skyrocket. Guarantee you guys. But hey, I'm not going to waffle. Let's get into the 2023 films ranked. My 40th to 21st, and then I'll put in the segment of Joseph and I ranking our top 20. Let's go. Kicking off, my 40th favorite, or is that what I should say, mate? Because I've watched 40 movies. My least favorite movie of 2023. In the 40th spot, I have The Nun 2. This was a disgrace. Watching this, I was sitting in the cinema oh my god, it was so typical. I gave it 1.5 stars. I did watch it with Josh at Sherlock Movies. He gave it 3. A little bit, very, very generous. It averages a 2.3 on Letterboxd. The Nun 2, it just wasn't great. You barely actually see the main character, the nun herself. It was very predictable. The whole movie takes place in that hallway. Sure, there was good. It had good horror themes, sure, like the low lighting and all that, but it was typical. It was very typical, and I hated it. Nun 2, the worst one out of the Conjuring franchise. That might be a hot take, but I hated the Nun 2. In 39th, I got Joyride. Now, this one averages a 3.3 on Letterboxd. I gave it 1.5 as well. It's not that it's a bad movie, it's a comedy, and comedy is very subjective. Everybody's comedy is different. The only scene that I actually laughed throughout this movie was that at the very start, where the white kid says to the two Asian girls, the slides off limits the ching chongs. And I've seen that all over TikTok. I didn't know it was from this movie. I watched it through, and that scene just cracks me up every time. It's a funny scene. Yeah, it's just not my kind of humor. The first bit's okay, that first little joke, but then again, I watched it with two other mates, and it was just, not our thing. But it's very subjective, so, there's that. 38th, I need to mention this too. I do mention this with Joseph. This is our ranking of 2023 films based on the Australian release date of films. We're Aussies, so we watch films as they come out here. Some movies on this list came out in 2022 in the States, but 2023 here in Australia. That one is Pearl. Pearl came out in 2022 in the States, but it came out in 2023 here in Australia. Now, Josh from Sherlock Movies and I actually did a Pearl watch party back in October, and this movie wasn't necessarily a bad made movie, just the plot was what the hell it was. It was a big plot that just didn't resonate with either of Josh or me. I gave it 2.5. Josh gave it 2.5 as well. We agreed on it. I'll read Josh's review out because we share the same opinion. So this credit goes to Sherlock Movies on Letterboxd. Josh, my good mate. This is what he said. What is this movie? It's just odd. I was actually hyped to watch it, only to be pretty disappointed. There are some highlights, some scenes where I'm thinking, that's actually cool. But for the most part, I just kept asking myself, what is this movie, bro? And I actually really agree. It was really psychopathic. And those movies are just, they're made well. Pearl was made well. And obviously the third Pearl movie is coming out, I believe, this year or next. We haven't watched X. Me and Josh will get to X. We do want to watch that. But Pearl just wasn't it for us. I do know a lot of people that love it. My mate from work gives it 5. Like, it averages a 3.8. It just wasn't our thing. 37th, I've got the big unfortunate one, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Going into this, I was excited. It came out around this time last year, February. And I was excited. If you guys go back to early Movie Pod episodes, going into this film, I was goddamn excited for Ant-Man. Obviously, Ant-Man and the Wasp wasn't the greatest. I do think it's overhated. It's not good at all. And then I love Ant-Man, the first Ant-Man. It's like a top 10 MCU movie for me. I know it's a hot take, but I love the first Ant-Man. It's just really fun. And so I had hope for Quantumania, and it was terrible. I gave it 2.5. It averages a 2.3 on Letterboxd, so I gave it more than what other people are giving it. It wasn't great. It wasn't a good movie for Kang to be introduced in, even though, I don't know if they're still continuing with Kang in the MCU because of all the Jonathan Majors drama. But it wasn't a good introduction for Kang. Kang was the highlight of the movie. Paul Rudd, obviously, swipes the floor acting. He's great. Love Paul Rudd, but I love Peyton Reed too, the director, but this was not it. One of the worst MCU movies, not the worst. That spot goes to Thor: Love and Thunder. I'll always have Thor: Love and Thunder at the bottom. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, worst comic book movie of 2023 that I saw. So I have it 37th. 36th, another disappointing one. I have Cocaine Bear. Me and my mates from work were hella excited to watch this. I gave it a 3 on Letterboxd, and Cocaine Bear just was stupid. I didn't find it funny. I didn't find it funny at all. It was cringe. There were some highlights. I would probably watch it again, to be honest. I think it's on Netflix, and I'd be happy to watch it again. But walking out, I was not happy because I was so hyped to Cocaine Bear. It was going to be a blast. It was going to be so funny. But yeah, it averages a 2.7 on Letterboxd, and it just plain old was not good. It was cheaply made and was stupid, plain stupid. And obviously you're going to get that from a movie called Cocaine Bear, a bear on cocaine. Obviously it's going to be stupid, but I thought it would be better. I expected it to be a lot bigger, but that's that. 36th. 35th, I have a fan film, actually, and now, okay. 35th, I have Spider-Man Lotus. Now, I gave it a 3 stars with averages of 1.6 on Letterboxd, and I think that's just outrageous and stupid. And I think if all the drama with the director Gavin J. Canute, if that's how you say his last name, my bad for pronouncing it wrong, if all that drama didn't happen with him and his actors and cast, crew, people would love this movie a lot more. As a fan project, I have more sympathy towards it. Sure, it wasn't the best Spider-Man project, not going to be, but for a fan project, for a feature-length, fan-made film, you gotta have commitment. You gotta love the franchise to be able to do that. And I think he did a good job. The plot was solid. The visual effects were stunning. The swings were stunning. The story, it was solid. The plot was solid. Nothing special, standard, But as a fan project, I have a lot more sympathy to it. As like a fan-made film, it was made pretty goddamn good, honestly. You could release that as a Spider-Man film, and it would somewhat kind of look like a Sony Spider-Man movie. I thought the visual effects was great. The acting was maybe the worst thing of it. Not that it was terrible, but, the one that, like, okay, yeah, you can tell, these aren't professional actors, and, obviously they're not. Fan-made, it's all made with love, and, I definitely think it's way overhated just because of all that drama. I'm not going to get into the drama, I'm not going to explain it. Sure, some things were said that shouldn't have been said by the director and cast, crew, whatever it was. But he said it at like 14, was it? You're 14. I was immature as hell at 14. Everyone is. Everyone. You people like getting mad at him and pressed at him for it are probably white as well. Because didn't he say racial slurs or something? I'm not going to get into it all. I have watched lots of stuff about it, but yeah, that's that. I don't want to get into it. Don't need any drama here on the movie pod, but my opinion on it, I think it's overhated. That's that. 35th, Spider-Man Lotus. 34th, another disappointing one, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I am rooting for John Williams to win Best Score at the Oscars for this one. The score was amazing. John Williams got nominated. So did Ludwig Göransson from... I can't pronounce it, bro. From Oppenheimer, who did the score of Oppenheimer, right behind me. I hope Oppenheimer or Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny wins Best Score. And, John Williams is a legend. He's, like 93 now. It's still out here getting Oscar nominations. Crazy. I watched it with my dad. We were the only ones in the theater. Yeah, I gave it a 3 stars. It wasn't the worst. It was better than 4, but it's not better than any of the other ones. Seeing Harrison again as Indiana Jones was heartwarming. The deepfake was very good, and that's all I got for it. It wasn't solid. It was mid. 3 stars. 33rd, I got Rebel Moon. Now, Joseph hasn't watched this yet. We're gonna do a review on it, but I'm just like, stuff it. I can't. I can't. I was the card for this. I had trust in Zack Snyder, but it was not very good. The plot wasn't very, the story was kind of whack. I found myself on my phone most of the movie. I just didn't enjoy it. It wasn't good. And apparently there's an R-rated Zack Snyder cut coming out. Why not just release that as the first version of the film? Zack always does this, and I don't know if it's him choosing that or if it's, Netflix saying, oh, no, let's put out an M-rated version so we get more people able to watch them. We'll put your version out depending on how good that one does or how bad it does, whatever. So apparently there is an R-rated longer cut coming, so we'll see how that is. His longer cuts are usually a lot better. Just look at the Zack Snyder cut for Justice League. That's the prime example. But Rebel Moon Part 1 of Charter Fire was not great. Part 2 comes out, I believe, early this year. Sometime first half of this year. I'll watch it. I'm not intrigued with the story at all. I couldn't care. I'm gonna just watch it just for Zack. And a movie to watch. I'm a movie buff. I own the movie pod, bro. Gotta watch everything, right? I plan to watch a lot more than I did in 2023. I mean, I watched 40 movies. Joseph watched 20. But I'm gonna make him watch a lot more this year. Okay, as I said. And around April, the movie pod is gonna pick up. We're gonna get something real schedule stored. But 33rd is Rebel Moon. Now, 32nd is not a bad movie. It's Saltburn. Now, I gave it a 3 stars. It averages a 3.5 on Letterboxd. First hour was solid, and I found myself enjoying it. But after that, and once they actually not Barry, what's his name? Barry's the actor. I'm blank. Once they get to Saltburn, where Jacob Elordi's character lives with, his family. Once we get there, it starts getting weird and getting psychopathic, kind of. And Barry's character, as much as I like Barry as an actor, he played Joker in that deleted scene for the Batman 2022. Amazingly, cannot wait to see more as Joker. Off topic there, but he's a great actor. It wasn't it, man. What the fuck? Was it? It wasn't rated R even, was it? But it was psychopathic. It's MA 15 plus. It was psychopathic. Oliver. I don't know, man. The first hour was solid, and that ending was. I'm glad I watched that, not with my parents or something. And that grave scene, the bathtub scene. Let's move on. Saltburn in 30 seconds. 31st, I got a funny one. Strays. Now, the reason why it's so low is just because I kind of fell asleep about this. I was coming off a big weekend, a 5-day bender, and I needed a good nap in a cinema watching a comedy movie. Me and Joseph watched this. Coming off a massive weekend, and it was funny. I love animal comedy movies, dog ones. Will Ferrell, Jamie Foxx. It was solid. You know, Doug was the owner. Poor Doug. Not poor Doug. Poor. What was the little dog's name? Reggie. Poor Reggie. But it was funny. It was funny. Nothing special. I did fall asleep, as I said. That's 31st. 30th, I have Silent Night. Now, Silent Night was not necessarily bad. Kind of like, it was just a bit depressing. And the script wouldn't have been very long. It was literally a silent movie. It's in the name, Silent Night. The action was cool. I liked the story of the main character. I could not tell you his name. It just wasn't it. I gave it 3 stars. 29th, I have one that I thought would be at the bottom of my list, like the bottom line. I actually have The Marvels at 29th. Now, this wasn't as bad as we all expected it to be. I gave it a 3 stars on Letterboxd. Me and Joseph did our review on this, so you can go watch that if you wish. But Marvels wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. It's not good, but I think because I had such low expectations, I found myself enjoying it. It was enjoyable. It wasn't long at all, which made it so good, and that post-credit scene was big. So there's The Marvels for ya. In 29th. 28th, I have a really disappointed one, and a lot of you might be shocked by this one. 28th, I have Past Lives. This is a good movie. It averages a 4.2 on Letterboxd. I gave it a 3.5. I wrote a review for it. Let me get that up, actually, because I wrote a big review for it. And I'll read that out now in just a second. Just bear with me. I know it's low on my list. 28th, but I like the story, I like it all. It's just there was one big problem. So let me read my review. Real disappointing considering I have only heard good things about this film. Also considering chunks of the movie was in Korean with no English subtitles just made it worse. I'm not sure if it's just the website I watched it on, with it, which I think it was, which shouldn't be the case since the movie should have subtitles integrated into the film as it's a 2-language speaking film. True. Like, what do they expect? Us to just try to assume what they are saying? No, I'm not doing that. I really want to like this movie, but not knowing what conversations are being said at some points doesn't help. And then 24 hours later, after the film had processed, I did an update. 24-hour later update. Look, initially I was disappointed by the film due to high expectations and the absence of English subtitles during Korean-speaking scenes, which hindered understanding. The language barrier was a significant drawback, making it challenging to fully appreciate the movie. However, after giving it another thought, the film's message about not all things are meant to be resonated with me and really applies to many of us in the 21st century, prompting a reassessment of my rating from a 2.5 to a 3.5. Without the language inconsistency issue, it would have easily been a solid 4 out of 5. So it's literally just that. The Korean language scenes, there was no subtitles on the streaming platform I watched it on. You would think an English and Korean movie would have subtitles, right, integrated into them, like when they get distributed at theaters or whatnot. It didn't, and I didn't have an option on the streaming service to actually put subtitles on, and it really pissed me off. I sat through like 2 hours of it, and no, I wasn't happy, and I was very mad, and because it was a good solid, and it's also the directorial debut of the director, and it was a solid story. The story was great. I'll revisit it one day. Maybe I can find a subtitles for it. Surely there's subtitles with it. I wasn't happy. It doesn't deserve to be at 28th, but that's where I've got it, and I can't understand half the movie. Now 27th, I have one that's very good messaging. I don't think a lot of people should see it. You can't be sensitive to watch this. It's a really triggery film, and that's Sound of Freedom. I gave it 3.5. Its messaging is really, really heart-wrenching. Obviously based on real story. And if you guys have seen it, you know what I'm talking about. And everyone knows about this movie. It was a big thing. But Sound of Freedom, I don't think everyone should watch it if you're really sensitive and you got it's a big trigger warning. This film's trigger warning should be all over it. I was 16-year-old coming on 17 next month. When I watched this, my heart was aching. It was just man, I was just a kid a few years ago, and it's a powerful and moving film. It's got strong themes that resonate in real life. It's based on real life. It has a good message, and it's just, I think it could have been executed a little bit better. Probably is more than 3.5 stars, but me being kind of sensitive to this, and this hurts that this happens, and I'm just sensitive to that. It's not fair, and I'm just lucky to have the life I have, and it makes me realize that. But it just hurts too much. I'd never rewatch it. 27th on my list. 26th, I have another one I didn't think I would enjoy at all. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. I gave it 3.5 stars. And it was solid. It was fun. On par to the first Aquaman. I haven't seen it in ages, but genuinely wasn't the worst. I enjoyed it. There was some stupid bits, but I found myself cool, good superhero, solid movie. Entertaining. 25th, I have very, 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 very disappointing one. I have The Killer. I watched this one in 3 segments. I rated it 3.5. I was really looking forward to this. Obviously directed by David Fincher. And it's got Michael Fassbender as the main character. It's a slow movie. It's good, but it's got some comedy in it too. There's some funny bits, but I was very disappointed. Maybe it was too slow for me. I expected more development throughout it too, more story. Yeah, I had to watch it in 3 segments. It was too slow. 24th, I got Fast X. There you go. 24th, I got Fast X. Now, Fast and Furious 10. Better than 9, better than 8. Not better than any of the others. Better than Hobbs and Shaw. Not better than anything else. It was a step up from 8 and not 7. Not a step up from 7, no. Step up from 8 and 9, definitely. And Fast X, it was fun. Gave it 3 stars. I would definitely go back. I need to rewatch it. I only saw it once. Damn. I'm excited for 11. Apparently they're lowering the budget a lot and going back to Fast 1, the Fast and the Furious roads, and going back to how it all started. That's what we need, and we need one last scene with Paul. Do him justice, man. His brothers, I'm sure, are in on it, and Paul would want it. I'm usually against deepfake for dead actors, actors that have passed, but Paul would want it. Man, he loved this franchise. 23rd, I got the FNAF movie, Five Nights at Freddy's. I gave it 3 stars. Again, I only saw this once. Averages a 2.5 on 2.6 on Letterboxd. Sherlock Movies, Josh loved it. He gave it 4 stars. I just had way too high expectations for this movie. That was the biggest thing. I'm excited for number 2, sure. But I had way too high expectations. But I think number 2 will be a lot better. They learned throughout the first one. This one set up something real cool at the end. Yeah. 22nd, I've got the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Now, this one was fun. I was obviously looking forward to this one. I gave it 3 stars. I just felt like they didn't give us enough. Sure, Mario is massive. They can't give us everything. But they gave us more pointless stuff than stuff that... Obviously, this is going to be a fan service movie. I wish there was more power-ups, more of the racing. We're seeing more of the worlds, the Mario worlds from the Super Mario Bros. Games. More of the power-ups. That was my biggest thing. It didn't give us what we should have got. Well, it's going to be fan service, so give us the fan service. I loved Donkey Kong in it. I loved Jack Black as Bowser. Peaches was a massive song. I was addicted to it when it came out. And then obviously Undiscount came out and absolutely took over. But I've got the Super Mario Bros. Movie at 22nd. And I want to go rewatch this. You know, it was a fun movie. I gave it 3. It was fun. And I hope they make it into a franchise, you know. Make the Super Mario Bros. Movie into a franchise. Have spin-offs for a bunch of these characters. Have like a whole Mario Kart movie. I don't know. I love the world of Mario. 21st, I have one. Not that I was disappointed by, but another weird one. I got Poor Things. I gave it 3.5 stars. It was solid. Emma Stone for that Best Actress. Oscar definitely, since Margot Robbie didn't get nominated for Barbie. But I've definitely got Poor Things as I wouldn't say enjoyable, but as a really good film. It was enjoyable. 21st is very weird. A little too much of that, you know, with Mark Ruffalo in it. But it was weird, and I liked that. It was creative. Costuming was amazing. Set design was amazing. Acting was phenomenal. The story was weird, and that was sick. I've got Poor Things at 21st. Now, let's get into my top 20. I'm going to play now the segment Joseph and I recorded of our top 20. In that segment, we do say the Movie Pod Film Awards are coming this Saturday. Disregard that. We recorded that before I actually posted it last Saturday. Just I had to get around to recording my 40th to 21st. And again, rest in peace to Carl Weathers, because we don't mention it because he was still alive at the time we were recording. That's crazy, and you will be missed. But that's my 40th to 21st. And now let's jump on the call with Joseph. Yeah, let's play that 20th to our favorite movie coming up right now. The line, what's up, mate? How you going this evening?
I'm good.
I just did my my 40th to 21st ranking of the films I saw in 2023. I got 20 films to go, and I gather you only watched 20 films last year. I doubled you, man. Step up your game. 2023, as I said, was a very mixed year of films, and you know, a lot didn't appeal to Joseph, so he didn't see a lot. I just tried to watch as much as I could, just because I'm a movie buff. You know, just tried to watch as much as I could. I just gave you guys my 40th to 21st ending it with Poor Things coming in at 21st. I gave my review on all those, but now I've got you on the line, Joseph, and we're going to do our top 20. So I've just been talking for the past 20 minutes by myself, so you want to give us your 20th? Also, as I mentioned earlier, this is based on the Australian release date. Obviously, you know, I had Pearl in mind, which came out 2022 in the States, and some other stuff.
That's a long wait.
Yeah, Empire of Light is in my top 20, spoiler alert, that came out 2022. Babylon, that's in my top 20 as well, spoiler alert, that came out 2022. But it came out 2023 in Australia, and we are Aussies, so we're obviously going off the Australian release date of these movies. Anyway, Joseph, you want to kick us off? What is your 20th? So your least favorite. Now, this is Joseph's least favorite movie of 2023.
Hold on.
I know, he forgets. Give us your rating and a little mini review of it. I think that's how we'll structure this. That's what I've been doing for the past 20 minutes. Just your rating, little mini review. Why you obviously didn't like this one, because it's your last one. I'm very intrigued to know your top 20.
Yeah. So my 20th, and unfortunately, I actually watched this movie on Christmas.
Oh, your least favorite movie.
It's
so what is it like? Can I guess the movie?
It's not a Christmas movie, no.
Oh, why the fuck did you watch it on Christmas?
Oh, because there was nothing else. We already watched a Christmas movie, so he wanted to watch another movie, and so we watched Leave the World Behind.
Yeah. You didn't like it.
And funnily enough, it was storming, and then the next day, all the power went out in like everywhere.
It's a freaking sign. There's so many conspiracies about this movie. The Obamas produced it. The symbolism in that movie, bro.
Yeah.
It's a sign that the world is actually ending. Guys, be ready. My TikTok. I'm brain rot from TikTok. I've watched so many conspiracy theories about that movie.
No, it's an awful movie with awful with
Now-
horrendous writing. and
Okay,
acting,
buddy.
Just,
Obviously,
the entire plot is just awful. It's just
People-
awful. Ethan Hawke is Ethan Hawke, the dad.
Ethan Hawke.
He's
think.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Ethan Hawke. He's just a bum the entire time. He just gets pushed around the entire time. The mum's a racist, and that's
Yeah,
that's always good to
that's
have
shown.
in an apocalypse. One of the kids is a sook. The other one only gives a crap about friends.
Yeah, that ending was shit.
Also,
I do agree.
I've watched the Friends ending. It's not that good of an ending. They tie up. You won't. But they tie
Yeah,
up
everyone's friends.
the entire series worth of Ross and Rachel in a 5-minute monologue.
Oh.
It's discrediting to
Well,
one of the most famous relationships in sitcom history, in television history.
I haven't mentioned Leave the World Behind yet, so that does mean it's in my better half of the movies. Because obviously I'm
How?
halfway. Yeah, I will explain to it when I get to it. What did you give it
Okay.
out of 5?
Actually, I need to check that. I think a 0.5.
You gave it half a star, so it's like one of your
I
worst
gave it
movies of all
half
time.
a star.
It'd
It
be on
probably
your-
is my worst movie of all
That's
time.
crazy because I've got
Genuinely though, I would rather watch a bad Nickelodeon knockoff TV show.
it.
That's
Okay.
it. Or knockoff
You-
movie, Disney original movie. I
You're
don't care.
gonna
This
be
thing was
shocked
awful.
to see what I say
Do you have
about
it in
it.
your top 10?
You will see. When we get to it, I'll play my initial review. I recorded at 4 a.m. the movie in the morning when I finished watching it
Oh yes.
because I was very angry at that ending. That ending was atrocious. But there are aspects I liked of it, and I'll talk about it when I get to it. But your 20th, Leave the World Behind. You give it 0.5 out of 5.
0.5.
My 20th is a movie. Now, guys, you got to remember, 20th is the halfway point for me. So I've watched 40 movies. 20th now. 20th for me is when I was pretty excited. No, I wasn't excited. I just went in. My parents wanted to see it. I went with them. Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1. It was a solid movie. It's halfway point for me. I gave it 3.5. It was action packed. I love some of my Tom Cruise, so it was good seeing him. I think Vanessa Kirby did a good job as well. And I'm definitely excited for Mission Impossible 8 Dead Reckoning Part 2, which I believe has actually had a name change. So we'll have to wait to see. But no, it was a good setup for the Part 2. You can definitely see it's going to lead right into that. That ending definitely got me hyped for it. And I didn't think I'd be hyped for the next Mission Impossible after watching this. The stunts are amazing. Tom Cruise is one hell of a guy. He's got balls. He jumped off that mountain.
Yeah, he
that
does.
was all real. That was no green screen. It was crazy. The more I think about it, we should have added a best stunt category in our movie pod film awards, which
We
is
should
coming
have.
this Sunday for Australians, this Saturday for you Americans. So be ready. Movie pod 2023 film awards will finally be out very, very soon. So stay tuned. But Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, I did enjoy it. It's at the halfway point for me. 3.5. I definitely got to give it a rewatch. I haven't seen all the Mission Impossibles, so maybe one day I'll do a chronicle watch of them all. But it did get me excited for Part 2. It set up a sequel very, very well. So that's 20th for me, right in the dead halfway point.
Yeah.
Now,
Did you want to do your 19th, or do you want me to do my 19th?
you go your 19th, and then I'll go mine.
Okay. So I think everybody saw this coming, and I hope this was in your in your bottom 20.
What is it?
Ant-Man and the Wasp,
Okay, I had that at 37th.
Quantumania. Good.
So 4th last.
It's got 1-star rating for me. I thought there was no redeeming qualities in this movie. I thought everybody's storyline was wasted.
Especially Kang's.
Daryl, is that his name? Who's MODOK?
Oh,
I think it was Daryl. What was that? That was horrific. That's my sleep paralysis demon.
Bro, it's like
That's
that
what keeps
thing-
me up at night.
You remember
Yeah.
Shark Boy Lava Girl? You ever watched that as
Yeah.
a kid?
Yeah,
it's
Mr. Electro.
Yeah, yep. It's literally that.
Yeah, his that's technically Murdoch in comics and whatnot, but
Right.
it was just Daryl from
yeah,
the first
from the
Ant-Man.
first Ant-Man,
But,
yeah.
No, awful.
It was goofy
worst,
film.
Worst Marvel movie, I think.
Okay, wow.
Paul Rudd should retire. I'm kidding. I love Paul Rudd. He's in Friends.
Is he?
He
Yeah.
is for like 2 seasons, right at the
Um,
end. It's your
yeah.
19th.
As I said, I already gave my review for Quantumania, but I gave it a 2.5, and it was just Kang. You know, it was his first movie. It was a real disappointment for Kang. Obviously, they're probably not continuing with Kang because of the Jonathan Major stuff. But
Yep.
you know,
Actually, there was talks that John Boyega would
I did hear about that too. That's not going to happen.
no, probably not.
Be the
Especially
recast.
if
I reckon
Ray will be coming back in her own movie. They can't not leave out John Boyega.
I think
They're not going to kill him off. They're not going to do an off-screen kill. I think that's not going to send well, especially because it's kind of attacking him. Yeah, he may have said some stuff that they disagreed with, but if they give Finn an off-screen death, I think that's I think a lot of people are going to be very mad at that.
John Boyega just doesn't want to go back. Like, they might offer him.
No.
Maybe they'll offer him. They got to offer him a lot of money for him to come back. I don't think they won't offer him off screen. They'll probably just say, "Oh,
He's off doing his own thing.
Yeah, he's off doing his own thing. You know, he's
Yeah.
with the Resistance or whatever the head now. Then
Yeah,
but
they'll just write him out.
for regarding Kang in MCU, I think they're just going to disregard him, do something, explain something, and then bring in Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
I think that's their best bet at the moment. But
I always wish they started with Doctor Doom because Secret Wars always seemed like a lot more of a exciting storyline than and the timeline was dangerous. Nobody really seemed to like it.
No. But no, I can see why you put Quantumania that low. I've got it fourth last for me, so no, valid.
What's your 19th?
19th is, this will surprise a lot of people. I don't know where you got this on your list. I understand it hasn't aged as well. When it first came out, I really loved it. More so because it's fan service, and fan service, you know, draws my heartstrings in. But each day I dislike it a little bit more and more and more. I still think it's an okay movie. It is terrible. Yeah, the visual effects are terrible, disgrace. I think you know now what it's going to be. 19th is The Flash, which I gave a 4 stars. I might have to readjust that.
Oh my god, 4 stars for The Flash.
I will have to readjust it. I gave it, the first time I watched it, I gave it a 4.5. I've watched it twice. First watch 4.5, second watch 4. But thinking about it, looking back a few months later, maybe a 3.5.
That's deep. Funnily enough, it's my 18th. So
okay, so you got it third last. I've got it 19th, so I've got it 21st last.
I've only given it 1 star. So
Jesus, I didn't think it was that bad. See,
no,
I liked the story of it.
I despised it. I thought the only.
What didn't you like? What was it?
Just to be honest, I don't remember a lot of it. I feel like Wonder Woman. Oh, not Woman. Sorry. Supergirl wasn't as impactful as I hoped.
What is that?
It's a motorbike, and it's really annoying.
Say hello.
Hold on. You have to cut this out.
Yeah.
So we'll just go from ask me again what I don't like about it.
What don't you like about The Flash? Because I understand it has this problem. It has a lot of problems. I liked the story of it. The story is what makes me give it its 3.5 stars. But you gave it a 1. Like what? What do you like?
I think it's just it was lazy. Ezra Miller wasn't.
I don't like him either.
Wasn't great.
Yeah.
Batman was great.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis. Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton back. Yeah.
He was probably the best part of it. The ending was kind of meh. The comedy didn't hit, and the special effects genuinely are horrendous. So
it's disgrace. A production from Warner Brothers DC in 2023. That's fucked.
Yeah.
I can do better rendering than that in film class.
Yeah. It also has the same problems as what Multiverse of Madness did, where it was supposed to
with the multiverse.
Yeah.
I think it was a better
which I never liked in the
multiverse.
first place was because Flashpoint is such an important storyline.
Like,
they did an animated they did an animated movie about Flashpoint. And it's probably one of the most influential comic book story arcs for DC because it rewrites everything. That's when they that was kind of their reset was Flashpoint. At least one of their biggest ones. I don't know if it's their newest one, but it's their biggest one. Because it resets everything, so it changes things, it adds new storylines, and it's really important. And they kind of made us feel like that's what they're going to do, because that's what Flashpoint is meant to do. Is meant to change things. Is meant to bring us new characters, new problems, new worlds, new people, whatever. Just like what we thought Multiverse of Madness was going to do, it was going to give us it, which it did, but arguably not as much as it should have. But I just thought that maybe it was because I was going into it knowing more about it. If you're more of casual, you won't
it
won't mean as much to you.
And
yeah, maybe that's why. But no, I just thought that very little good came out of this film.
I liked the fan service. Fan service always pulls my strings. I'm guilty. I am a victim to fan service all the time. That little what's his name? Nicolas Cage Superman cameo.
Oh yeah.
I loved that
was nice.
just because that was always meant to happen. It was like 1 day away from filming his Superman movie, then it got cancelled completely, and they finally gave him justice. So I love the idea of the multiverse. Marvel have so much potential with the multiverse. I don't think they've lived up to it just yet. I think The Flash might be the best multiverse movie we have. But then again, I don't know much about it all. I did like the two aspects of the Barry. The emotionalness, like the compelling emotional elements with Barry and his mom. You know, obviously trying to save her.
Yeah, no, that was
I liked
good.
that.
Sure, it wasn't a bad storyline. I think I agree. But everything that involves Barry Allen involves his mum. So
yes, yeah, true. And Zod coming
it's
back.
Uncle Ben to Spider-Man.
Them bringing back, like, having Zod in it. It's Zod, that's his name, right?
Yeah. General Zod.
Yeah, I didn't think that was very good. And the fact that they killed off Michael Keaton's Batman, I guess they obviously want to retire him fully, but they didn't have to kill him. They just killed. They fully just killed.
And they
Michael
killed him
Keaton's
a bunch too. Like,
I know they went back like 3 times.
Was like shock factor, and then every other time after that was just like unnecessary and forced. And
I didn't like that.
Kind of like destroying a legacy.
Yeah, exactly. Like, bro, it's Tim Burton's Batman right there. You just cocked off. But
yeah, so as much as I don't enjoy No Way Home as much, at least when Andrew saves Zendaya, that's redeeming himself. He's still got his own character, like, arc. He's not just retiring. He's not just stopping. He got his own kind of redemption outside of it, and that's good fan service.
Sure.
Because you have a character still getting development, still getting good stories outside of their own thing, where Michael Keaton was just there to be Michael Keaton.
Also, Christopher Reeve, his Superman showing up in the original Supergirl. I forget the actress's name.
I think Brendan Ruth was there.
That was ridiculous. They didn't even have permission to do that, by the way. They did that without consulting the family. The Christopher Reeve stuff. CGI back. That was ridiculous. It's just funky, man. It looked funky. If you're gonna do it, at least give some respect and make it look good. Put effort in.
Yeah.
It was funky, and yeah. You know, there was, as I said, I'd probably give it a 3.5. It hasn't aged well for me, but I don't dislike it. I don't dislike it as much as other people. But fair enough. Yeah. That's your 18th.
What's your 18th?
My 18th. Now, this is a movie I highly recommend to you. It's kind of about us. It's set in a cinema, and I loved this movie. I really did. It would probably be higher if I had a better attention span. It's a slow movie. I'm being serious. It's a slow movie. But basically it's a love story set in and around an old cinema on the south coast south coast of England in the late 1980s. It was the cinema elements of it was very cool. The guy who's directed many of the 007s, the James Bonds. He directed it. The guy who directed 1917, he directed it. So he's got a good slate under him. And I highly recommend it. I think you'll like it. I think you will like it. It came out 2022 over in the States, and it came out in 2023 here in Australia. So that's why it's in my 2023 list. I give it 4 stars. I really did.
Okay.
Yeah, I loved it. I did enjoy it a lot. A little bit slow. It is slow. It is like it's a love story. but it's kind of about us cinema workers. Obviously it has that connection to us because we work in a cinema, so that made me like it a little bit more. But no, I did enjoy the movie. I'll definitely revisit it one day, but I definitely recommend it to you. That's my 18th.
Okay. Alrighty. My 17th, I don't know where you've put you may have left this out of your 20. But The Nun 2.
That was dead last for me. That was my 40th.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Nun 2 was my
I gave it
40th.
a 2.5. Everybody knows I'm not big on horrors.
Yep.
And this is why, is because every time I watch them, they're just uninteresting and unscary.
You gotta watch the right ones, man.
Very predictable. That's what my friend keeps telling me, but I just can't.
I'll sit you down
find one
and
that's
put you.
terrifying.
I'll
watch thrillers, which are like cool.
I like thrillers
enjoy,
better
like,
than horrors.
Silence
Thrillers
of the
my
Lambs
favorite.
is probably the best.
I haven't watched that, but I've been recommended it.
Watch it. It's the most iconic one.
I should.
It's no, you need to.
I will.
It's like probably
been recommended a lot.
What is I know Hannibal Lecter. One of the most famous murderers in cinematic history, I'd say. Maybe no, as a non like themed, so not like a Freddy Krueger or a Mike Myers not a
Jason,
not a character, but a a serial killer, and, or just a madman, if you will.
I mean, they're all.
But The Nun 2. I watched the first one and I was like, this is alright.
Not great.
And the second one was just there was maybe 2 scenes which I was maybe raised my heart rate. My friends got scared, but I was just laughing at them.
Ow! I watched it with Josh,
it's so predictable.
Who's appeared on the podcast a few times, and we were talking throughout the movie like, what is this shit? Yeah, he liked it a little bit more than me. He gave it 2.5. I gave it 1.5. It's dead last to me. I hated it. It was shit. It was not scary.
It was.
We barely see her. We barely see the nun herself.
They tried
it was
to
set in a freaking priest. It was set in a school church hallway. The whole movie was in that school church hallway. Whatever it was, I didn't like it. I've seen worse.
It was the abandoned bell tower.
I've seen worse.
Yeah.
And it looked okay. The movie looked okay, like visually, but the story was terrible.
Alright, what's your 17th?
Okay, 17th I got Dumb Money. Now this was a movie I had literally just pulled up one night. I didn't watch it in theaters, watched it at home, and I didn't think much of it, and I can't believe it's based on a real story. It's kind of crazy. I went and researched the guy and watched some of his actual YouTube videos, the original guy. I really like Paul Dano a lot. I think he was perfect in this role. He's perfect in every role he plays. So no, I really enjoyed this movie. It was funny, and it was cool. This literally happened over COVID. All this happened over COVID. So it's very recent, and I did a lot of research after it. I gave it a 4 stars as well. I think I overestimate my movies. Like, realistically, it's probably like a 3.5 max. But when I watch a movie and I love it, I do give it more stars than it probably deserves. But I did enjoy Dumb Money a lot more than I thought. It was a chill movie, and I think it'll be a very rewatchable movie, to be honest. I've only seen it once, but I think I could sit back down and watch it again. I liked it a lot. That's my 17th.
Yeah. Alrighty. Yeah, it's higher up for me. It's in my list, but it's higher up. My 16th is Fast 10.
Okay. That was my 24th.
I think our road to Fast 10 was better than the movie.
Man, I'm looking back. This is a movie that's aged better for me than since I originally saw it. It's better than 8. It's better than 9.
Jason Momoa's character was written awfully.
It's the best one since Paul gone. It's the best one since 7. For me, I can't stand 8 or 9. Hobbs and Shaw's alright.
I think
doable, but I can't stand 8 or 9.
10, 9. 8, 10, 9 is my order.
8's my last. We all know that.
I do get what you mean, though. I get what you mean. I think 8 gets redeemed because the brother scene where Jason Statham and his brother go on the airplane. To me, that scene's really funny because they're kicking the shit out of people and the baby's just listening to music.
Yeah.
To me, it's the best scene in the movie, but it's better than any scene that is in 9 or 10. I don't
Fair
care.
enough.
Jason Statham carries that
10
entire
was-
movie in that one scene.
10 was goofy. Like, at the end, everyone died.
And John Cena died.
Everyone died. But
Yeah.
But we're like Roman and all them, their plane crashed. Dom and his son, they got all, they basically drowned in the thing. But the thing is, we're not like, oh my god, they're dead, because we know they're gonna come back in 11.
Not all of them.
Like,
but somebody will be, or maybe somebody won't be. But then halfway through the movie, they die. So that
bro,
they give us
Giselle's
a
back,
false
man.
sense
No
of
one
hope.
freaking dies. No one's dead.
So dumb.
Giselle came back. Maybe it was
Okay,
that. Maybe it was
I
really
did send
that
you a
bad.
thing. No, I sent you a thing on TikTok, right? And it made me think that Han came back, Giselle came back, but Paul would never come back, right? Of course.
Yeah.
But it got me thinking. What if that's the reason that they brought back Han and Giselle is because we lost Paul, and we can't have him back? So to fill his void.
That's so lazy writing.
It's
They can get around
stupid.
that.
It's stupid, and I don't agree with it. But I think that's what they're trying to do is the fact that we can't get Paul Walker back. So we try to fill his hole with other beloved characters.
We got to see
you get what I
Paul
mean?
again in present day.
Yeah, I know. I don't agree with it, but I think that may be what they're doing because forcing it is just forcing it. Like, there's no hiding what they're doing.
Okay,
they've done
I'm
it on
usually-
purpose and they've done it dumb.
I'm iffy about, CGIing whatever dead actors to bring them back. But Paul is one where he would want it. He loved this
I think
franchise.
It has to be perfect.
He has to be perfect. It has to be played by his brothers, like it was in 7 for the scenes he didn't get to film. So his brothers play him, and then they just CGI his face a little bit to make it look more like Paul.
Yeah.
But his brothers
But
look
it's
very
hard
close
for
to
his brother.
Yes, that is.
His brother's a paramedic, I think. Did you see? I assume you saw. I think they won an award for 7, and
Yeah.
Michelle Rodriguez did a thing talking about Cody. She's like, "You're our family now. You'll always be our family."
Yeah.
It's like you took time off to come do this. I'm pretty sure he was a paramedic. I think that's his name, Cody. Pretty sure he was a paramedic.
Cody and Caleb.
Yeah.
Cody, Caleb.
But Fast 10, I gave it a 2.5. I thought it had somewhat redeeming qualities. I think I laughed a few times.
I gave it a 3.
John Cena wasn't bad in it. I thought Jason Momoa, it was just his writing. He was just written really poorly. I think whatever he was told to do, he did well. But just whoever told him to do it should get fired.
That's fair enough. I do have good news about Fast 11 or whatever it's called, Fast X Part 2, whatever they're calling it. I believe I sent it to you. But Fast 11 will reportedly go back to the basics and will have a budget of 100 million or less, and will apparently be a throwback to the first film. Now that got me excited. That's what we want. That's what we need.
I want to know how in the hell are they going to dig themselves out of this?
I don't know how. Maybe I don't know.
That's like if the next Star Wars movie they bring out is just, we're going High Republic. Oh, no. We're going back to just a little bit before the Phantom Menace. Or we're going back to the Clone Wars. Like, great. Why? It's too far gone.
Well, no.
It won't make sense. How are they going to drop down from blowing up a dam? Yeah, I know, but you get the point, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know
how are you going
how
from
it's going to work. But that's what I want. I don't care. Just give me back my old Fast and Furious.
You know what it'll be? It'll be a poorly made movie in which in the last 20 minutes there's the ending scene will be a actual race or something. And then that'll be their excuse that we'll have half an hour of actual racing in the movie, and then they'll be like, "Oh yeah, we're back to our roots now."
I don't know. I have hope, man. I have hope.
Yeah.
I do. I know, they don't have Paul there anymore, but just do him justice. End this franchise off. Well, it's a shame what it's turned into, but I have hope, and it comes out next year, so we will see.
Yeah. What's your 16th?
My 16th is, now this is a funny one. I gave this one a review. I watched this one, and I don't know why. I gave this 4 stars again. I probably overestimated it. Ferris Bueller's in it. Now what was the review? Let me find my review I wrote up on that letterbox, because I remember writing one. It was a bit funny. Maybe I deleted it because it was a bit embarrassing review. I think I deleted it. No, fuck, I deleted it. Did I? No, I got it. Okay.
You got it?
Here I go. So I gave it a 4 stars. Watched Okay, tossing up between a 3.5 and a 4. I enjoyed this so much. Crying face, crying face. I don't know why. Maybe coming off a serious heart, wrenching film, I needed this easy rom com. Because I watched this right after I watched Prisoners, so I was dreading off Prisoners. So maybe that. Maybe
What was this? What movie?
No Hard Feelings. No Hard Feelings. I should have mentioned that. No Hard Feelings.
I want to watch it.
Laugh face.
That was the one movie. I did really want to watch it.
Maybe because I'm also a horny male teenager. Jennifer Lawrence is hot.
Okay, we're doing that. Okay.
Yeah. It's fine. Good. It wasn't good. But it was entertaining. I liked it. It was funny. Jennifer Lawrence is hot. There's one scene, man. Watch the movie. Watch it. You watch it.
Okay, I'll watch it. It's on binge now, I think, so I can watch it.
Yeah, which
is the Australian HBO.
Yeah.
For all of you Americans out there.
Yeah, man. No, I enjoyed it. It's probably like realistically 3.5. But no, it was solid.
Yeah. Okay.
It was solid. I just watched it for an easy movie.
Yeah.
That's my 16th. That's crazy. That's my 16th.
My 15th is The Boogeyman.
Okay.
And
I didn't watch it.
No, you don't.
I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it.
No, you don't need to watch it. I gave it a 3.
Oh, okay. So it was. Yeah,
it wasn't bad. I think it was maybe a little bit scarier than Nun 2, but that's purely because the special effects is a little bit more scarier. Like some of the settings
a little bit scarier,
little bit more tenser. I think we saw the villain a little better.
Okay.
It just felt like there was an actual stakes. It felt like there were some stakes. Where in the Nun, it was just like, I don't care about any of these people. So
yeah.
It makes you feel. If a movie can make you feel connected to at least one character, then I think it's done some kind of a success. In which I think the Boogeyman would have. The Boogeyman has, and that's the only reason why it's my only other horror movie. But that's why it's higher than the Nun. It's because at least it made me feel something.
Okay, fair enough.
But your 15th.
My 15th is this one's moved down my list a lot. It was good. I liked it. It was action-packed. It was the first one of this franchise I actually watched. The Equalizer 3. I saw this with my dad for Father's Day in Gold Class. He enjoyed it a lot. I gave it a 4. Realistically, maybe I should readjust it to a 3.5, not a 3. 3.5. It was solid. I forget it a little bit. I do, but it was action-packed. It was gory. I enjoyed it in the moment. I enjoyed it walking out of that theater. And it was one of my favorite movies of the year, but it's just, as I've watched more stuff, it's gone down a little bit. But no, definitely solid. And you don't need to watch The Equalizer 1 or 2 to understand this at all. It was perfect. My dad gave me a little bit of, background on what happens in 1 and 2. But 3 was solid. He enjoyed it. So it was good. And I found it pretty entertaining. And very action-packed. I liked it. It was good. It was solid. Very good stunts and stuff.
Yeah, Denzel, good.
Yeah, Denzel, amazing. Love him. Good old Denzel Washington. But that's my 15th.
Okay. My 14th, and this may be surprising, the Super Mario Bros. Movie.
Wow, okay. I had that at 22nd. I had that at 22.
Okay. I just felt that it was the Chris Pratt show. I think.
Yeah.
It strayed too far away from Mario, and it had a great soundtrack, but I think that's what they tried to use to blind people. I think they had a lot of fan service.
Oh, done. They had the fan, but that movie was always going to be successful. It's Mario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think there will be a sequel.
Yeah.
And I think they deserve it. I gave it a 3. Yes, a 3. It definitely wasn't bad. I just thought that it was It could have been so much more.
Could have been so much more, yeah.
Could have been so much more.
I
Should have
agree
been so
too.
much more.
I didn't initially like it.
Very short. It was too short.
It was too short. It was very short. They left out a lot,
You could have chucked 20 minutes onto it and made the action scenes a little bit longer, give us a little bit more of the smaller activities. Like, we got not a lot of go-karting. Maybe
Yeah,
maybe
that's
they're
what I
saving
mean. They
time
left
so that
out
they
a
can
lot.
make sequels.
I wish we saw
Maybe
more of the
they'll just
worlds
make
too,
5
and more
more.
of the power-ups.
Yeah. That's exactly what I think my problem was when we did the review. Was we
Yeah.
saw 3 worlds, and Mario is renowned for its specific level, like its level changes and how unique its levels are built. And I would have thought that they would have, because that's more for the older fans. The different worlds. That's where they've all come from. The lore behind all the worlds.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought
I give it a 3
maybe they're just
too.
waiting. But yeah, okay. So we're about on par with it. What's your 14th?
My 14th is... Okay, here we go. 14th is Leave the World Behind. So out of 40 movies, it's clocking in at 14th. So
That's awful.
it's in the first quarter. Basically. 14th, I gave it a 4. And I don't regret that. I think I'm leaving it on a 4. Okay, so I think when watching it, how do I explain this? I look at it as it was a really well-made film from terms of like the cinematography was quite amazing. One of those shed scenes, I was like, wow, the cinematography is pretty fucking good. I will never rewatch it, maybe not for a few decades. I just can't do it again. I thought it was
If I rewatch it as if I am torturing a criminal of the state.
I thought
that's what I will do to interrogate them.
I thought it was a pretty good thriller.
No.
I hated the ending like everybody. Lots of symbolism in this film towards things. Some of the symbolism I get, some I don't. It is definitely a message to everybody, which I think is really dumb. It's very political. It's very, for you Americans, it's very liberal, you could say. The Obamas produced it, so take that with whatever you will. But I thought it was solid. I like it as a thriller. I was excited for this movie before I watched it. I do get the mixed feelings. I'll chuck up my initial review up after I finish talking that I posted on our Instagram. But I gave it a 4, and I just feel like there's good messaging in it, but also some paranoia messaging in it, and some absolute ridiculous messaging that some people in the
Obamas.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The Obamas, politicians produced this movie. Some people believe it's a true sign that the government's planning something. I've looked into those conspiracies. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, so I just look at it and say, cool. You people think what you want. So people are this crazy. People are terminally ill, man. People are paranoid. And this movie doesn't help with that.
No, I think Obama just wanted to have some fun and use his name to make something big. If he ran for 2 consecutive terms, didn't he? I think he ran for 8 years. If an 8-year president of the United States tells that the world is in danger through a Netflix film, I think that's pretty bad service to your country, to be honest.
Yeah.
If I'm going to tell the world it's going to be ended by a Netflix original film,
I mean,
somebody's done wrong.
That's the way we consume things now.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
Surely,
it's an interesting one.
If he needs to send a message, he has the power to do so properly, and it'll reach more. Because this won't be taken seriously.
It hasn't been.
If anything, the conspiracy theories will make it even worse.
The Rotten Tomatoes for it's 75% and the audience is 35%. I think it was a little bit too long. As a thriller, I think it was good. I think it played with thriller elements pretty good. And I love my thrillers. Thriller's my favorite genre. And I honestly am sticking with my 4.5. My 4 out of 5 for now. It's crazy, I know, and I'm on the minority here, but yeah. Leave the World Behind in my 14th spot.
Okay, my 13th is Dumb Money.
Okay, cool.
I thought it was just a nice movie.
Yeah, solid.
It's kind of just... It's like a documentary. It's like a rewritten documentary.
Yeah.
And I don't think it does much wrong. I think it's character building. It as you said, it's based on true stories, so it doesn't need to create something new.
Yeah.
Which I think takes a lot of the weight off their shoulders.
Yeah.
It's just a fun little movie that can, in the next 20 years, when people are like, what's coronavirus, be like, haha, watch this movie.
Yeah.
Like, it'll turn into a history piece more than anything, I think.
Sure.
It'll just show, if you locked this movie in a time capsule for 100 years and took it out and showed somebody in 100 years, they'd be like, oh my god, this was wild. Like, it's just fun. And it's cool. And I think the acting's great. Pete Davidson's in it.
Yeah.
He just plays himself.
He does.
And yeah, I thought it was solid.
Yeah, man. Fair
I
enough.
think I gave it a
I
3.
think so,
Yeah,
too.
3 stars. It was just good. It wasn't didn't try to overplay its hand or anything.
No, it's solid.
Yeah, you.
Okay, so my 13th. So this is now when I get into the kind of 4.5 out of 5-star territory. I have John Wick Chapter 4. This is the first John Wick movie I have watched. I held it off. I only just watched it like last week. I just thought there was action. It was a good action movie, and I love my action movies. I liked action movies more as a kid. I've kind of faded away from action movies, but I like a good action movie. And I think wherever the Equalizer 3 is, this either should be, just a little bit in front of it. So I've got it in between Leave the World Behind and Equalizer 3. John Wick 4 is my 13th. I can't say much. It was just action-packed. I haven't seen John Wick 1, 2, or 3. I tried watching 1, but I turned it off. I don't know. No, not the film's fault. That attention span, man. I'm Gen Z, and I hate it. But, it was solid, a little bit slow, a little bit long. The endings, obviously, we know what happens to him. I didn't really expect that. But, I don't know, I'll probably go watch the other 3. So a lot of people say this was the best John Wick. A lot of other people, you're either on the side this was the best John Wick or this was the worst John Wick.
Yeah.
And this is the only John Wick I've seen, and 4.5, maybe not, honestly, 4.5, maybe 4. It was just a good action movie. I think it was, all the stunts were great. Keanu Reeves doesn't talk much. He just goes out, shoots, and kills people. GG Bella. Yeah. I know I'm not big in John Wick, if it's the only one I've seen, but I don't think he's actually dead. He'll be back. I reckon it's faked, but I don't know. I'll watch 5. I'll one day watch 1, 2, 3. I don't know when, but 4 was solid. It was action packed. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, man.
My 12, funnily enough, is Strays. It's not
Strays. Where I had that 31st.
Really, I thought it was maybe. I thought it was overhated. Maybe not overhated. I don't know if any, but it was underrated. I think.
I remember watching it.
Funny.
We watched it together.
It was after. Was it fire training?
It was after fire training. Yeah.
Yeah, and we watched it. There was nothing else. So
I fell asleep.
I enjoyed it.
I do remember sleeping.
Yeah, I think.
So we had just came back.
I do remember waking you up.
Yeah, we had just came back from our long weekend, and we had fire training, and then I do remember bits of it. I remember the owner abusing poor little Doug. Was that his name?
Yeah. I don't know if it's Doug, but
Doug is the standard dog name. Reggie. No, it was Doug.
Reggie Boat.
No, it was Reggie.
It was right now.
It was Reggie. Reggie and Bug. No, it was Doug was the name of the owner.
Doug was the owner.
Yeah, it was funny. I probably could move it up. I have it under the Marvels. I have it under Aquaman. I could probably put it above those. And realistically, if I readjusted it, maybe I could put it 26th, but I did have it sitting at 31st. I gave it 3 stars.
Yeah, I gave it 3.5, so
okay.
It's about the same.
Its average is a 2.6 on Letterboxd, and on on Rotten Tomatoes, it's got 53% critic score, 69% audience score. So
yeah, okay.
I do think live action animal movies where the animals talk and their mouths move, it's trippy, it's weird, but it was funny. It was funny. It's not everyone's humor; it's really crude humor. Yeah, but
it is.
It's funny. It was okay. It exists.
What's your 12th?
My 12th is this gets better every time I think about it. Honestly, and I could switch 11 and 12 around. 11 I'm still processing. 12th, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Thank you, James Gunn, for that masterpiece of an ending to the trilogy. I gave it 4.5, deservingly so. It's due for a rewatch. I just love everything about it. The emotional. I'm so glad they didn't kill Rocket. I thought I saw it coming. But the Guardians had a good ending, and I hope we don't see more of them. I thought it was a
perfect ending. I cried.
I remember you walked into the cinema. I watched it. You were working. You walked in. I was on the verge of the tears. I've never cried for something Marvel ever.
I took my mum to go watch it for her birthday.
Yeah.
And so we watched it. Yeah, I watched it like 3 times in cinemas, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
But I loved it. The more I think about it, it was good, and it was the most emotional Marvel movie for me. I'm not. I wouldn't call myself a Marvel fan. I watch Marvel. I casually watch it. I'm not like into it as much as you and a lot of other people. You know a lot more about Marvel than me. I'm not into Marvel as much as I am like Star Wars or something. But I'm an avid Marvel watcher, and Guardians really hit me, man. It's the only Marvel movie I've been on the verge of tears, and
I could rewatch
James Gunn was amazing. I have so much hope in James Gunn with DC. So many people don't, but then I'm like, bro, he directed your literal favorite MCU trilogy. You're just sad that because a lot of the MCU lovers hate DC, and you're just like sad and freaking mad and pressed that he's gone from Marvel to DC. Guardians 3 is so good, and I give it 4.5. It is 12th for me. The ones above it, I just liked better, but I could swap it with 11. 11, I'm still processing. I need to make a whole episode about 11. Anyway, what's your 11th?
My 11th are The Marvels.
Okay.
I enjoyed it more than I ever thought I would have.
Me too.
I thought Brie Larson. This is Brie Larson's best performance as Captain Marvel.
I thought Amanda Valeni, who played Miss Marvel, did very good. Kamala Khan. Kamala Khan. I think she really...
Yeah, no, she was standout. Yeah. I thought she was the performance of the movie. She was the funniest.
Definitely.
She had the best lines.
So much better than I thought. It was crazy. I gave it... I put it at 29th.
Genuinely, she's the only thing that excites me for the Young Avengers.
Really?
Everything. No,
nothing excites me for the Young Avengers. That shit's cringe.
Hawkeye... Haley Steinfeld's Hawkeye is not bad.
Who's Echo?
Hawkeye. She was in the Hawkeye show with Jeremy Renner.
Which is Echo,
Haley
is
Steinfeld.
It not?
No, it's not Echo.
Is it not?
No, it wasn't Echo from Ant-Man.
Wait, what's her name? Kate Bishop. Oh, Kate Bishop.
Kate Bishop.
Yeah, never mind. Hawkeye. Yeah.
It was a successful movie, I think.
No, it was not.
The X-Men.
It was not.
No. I mean, it. Yeah, but that was because of its name and also, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania.
It's just a lot of people wanted to boycott this movie, and it wasn't a good movie, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I gave it a 3 out of 3 stars. I thought I'd give it a 1.
I gave it a 3.5.
3 is the max I would give it, and yeah, no, it was better than we all thought. Definitely better than everyone thought. Yeah. But it was still not greatest thing. But it was just the fact it was better than we thought.
No, that's fair.
But we just made it.
What's your 11th?
Low expectations. Okay, 11th. Now this one I need to dedicate an entire episode about, because I put this movie off for how many months now? When did this come out? I don't even know. Halfway through the year. It was one of the biggest movies of the year. Arguably, people say it's their favorite superhero movie. Yeah, Across the Spider-Verse is my 11th, just missing out on my top 10. I give it 4.5 as well. I watched it last night.
Did you?
I watched it last night. First time. I had been saving it. Last night probably wasn't the best time to watch it, but we were doing our ranking tonight, so I'm like, I just gotta watch it. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Where do I start with this? I was hating on this movie. You know, before I had even seen it. I think Across the Spider-Verse is incredibly overrated. I give I give Into the Spider-Verse maybe a 3.5. Across the Spider-Verse is better. I love the multiverse aspect of it.
Sure.
And I was definitely very, very wrong about it, and I, I'm excited for Beyond the Spider-Verse whenever that comes out. The ending of this was solid as hell. Just man, they teasing us, they leaving us like that.
Yeah,
I
they
thought
do.
the different Spideys
Yeah.
is sick. Seeing Andrew Garfield for that split 5-second thing, live action. Mixing animation with live action is never done. It's just you don't do that.
Yeah,
but
we
this does it
also
good.
see
Well, the animation styles is trippy. I don't particularly like it. It's too much, but it's cool.
Nah.
I was wrong about the film. I wasn't wrong about it. I knew it would be good, but I just wasn't a huge fan of Into the Spider-Verse. But Across was pretty goddamn good, and it was a good length. Animated movies are always like an hour and a half, and this was a little over 2 hours, so I respect that. And the amount of time that went into this, I'm excited for Beyond the Spider-Verse, and a lot of people think it will be a lot of people's favorite trilogy if Beyond the Spider-Verse lives up to it, to
especially
Spider-Verse.
Spider-Man.
But Into the Spider-Verse, I gotta rewatch it probably, but I've seen it many times. I prefer
Into the Spider-Verse than to Across.
I definitely prefer Across a lot more. But
Okay.
I put this movie off a lot. I wanted to watch it. I really was waiting. I was waiting for the right time. I was like, oh, should I record my reaction to this because it's gonna be big? But last night I'm like, hey, well, we're recording tomorrow, 2023 ranked. Let me watch this thing, and I was blown away. I finished it at like 1 a.m. and then had to wake up at 5 a.m. for school. So got a solid. I'm running off 4 hours of sleep. I am energized. It's now nearly 10 p.m. So let's go. Across the Spider-Verse, 11th for me. Solid 4.5. It is. I went viral on Twitter when it was out in theaters. I'm like, it's not that good, and then it blew up. It got like over 1,000 like replies and people saying it is that good. These blah blah, typical Twitter banter. I didn't even watch it. I was just hating on it. I don't know why. I didn't see the hype after Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah,
and so I was very
Into the Spider-Verse.
I mean, I watched it earlier this year when I was planning to go watch Across the Spider-Verse. I watched it before, and
yeah,
I like Across the Spider-Verse better.
Some people do.
I'll bring up my Spider-Man ranking.
Just thought Into was
right
more
now.
Charming.
I don't know, it's not for me. I'll bring up my Spider-Man ranking. So let me actually add Across the Spider-Verse in it. So first I have the original Spider-Man. You know that. Okay, so there's 10 Spider-Man movies I've seen now. I put Across the Spider-Verse, I put 4th. So I'll run through this real quick. I'll go Spider-Man, the original 2002, first. Spider-Man No Way Home, second. Spider-Man 2, 2004, third. Across the Spider-Verse, 4th. The Amazing Spider-Man 2012, 5th. Spider-Man Homecoming, 6th. Into the Spider-Verse, 7th. Spider-Man 3, 2007, 8th. The Amazing Spider-Man 2, 2014, 9th. And Far From Home, 10th.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah.
You can kind of back it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's higher up on my list.
My 11th. I'm gonna take a guess. I reckon, it's my guess, Across the Spider-Verse is your favorite movie of the year. Don't tell me. We'll see, but that's my guess.
I won't.
Anyway, that's my 11th. What's your 10th? Getting into the 10th territory now.
Yeah, let's roll into the top 10.
Top 10,
mine
baby.
is John Wick Chapter 4. I gave it, again, 3.5.
Okay.
Too long, and John Wick doesn't talk enough.
Yep.
It's because it's a Chinese marketed movie, so having John Wick speaking a lot of English isn't like genuinely. This movie released in China, and it was made for. You can tell. The Meg one, that was a Chinese marketed movie.
Yeah, Jason Statham was like the only white guy in it, eh?
Yeah,
Meg 1,
I don't know about the Meg 2, but
Yeah,
at least the
watch
Meg
it.
1, and it was the same thing with John Wick. Has nothing to do with the action or anything. I think the action's fantastic.
It's not your favorite John Wick? You're part of that side. Is it your least favorite?
I don't know.
'Cause it's the only John
It's
Wick
definitely
I've
my
seen.
least favorite, but I don't know. I can't rank action movies too highly because of their lack of
Story.
they're easy movies to watch. They're movies you put on, you go, wow, that's pretty. Wow, that's cool stunts. Wow, that's cool choreography.
Yeah.
It's not, oh my god, the story is riveting.
Mm.
Give me more story.
Yeah.
And I just think I can't appreciate those for movies. It's more like just skip-its of cool explosions and fights.
Fair enough.
It's like, and I just, as a movie, as a cinematic film, I can't rank it too highly, but
Fair enough. She's your 10th. So you got it halfway because you only watched 20. You gave it 3.5.
3.5, yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, your 10th.
My
What's
10th.
your,
My 10th. Now, this has also been moved around. It's always been in my top 10, but it's moved around from, it's at the top of my top 10, then it's in the middle, and now it's at its 10th. It's the highly anticipated movie for me. Some of my favorite people on the face of the planet. Raka Raka's directorial debut, Talk to Me. Aussie indie movie released worldwide, did amazing. Is getting a sequel called Talk to Me. Kind of doing a Too Fast, Too Furious situation with that title.
Genius.
I'm also. I haven't told. Have I told you this about Raka Raka?
Probably not.
I'm meeting Raka Raka next Sunday.
What do you mean you're meeting Raka Raka next Sunday?
Me and Josh are going to a film careers expo down at the Gold Coast next Sunday, and Raka Raka are there presenting a panel. And I've applied, because I do the podcast, I've applied for a media pass, which will allow me to interview panel hosts.
That's big. Can you record?
I can, yeah, that's the whole point. And I got a media
Big.
pass. So I might create like a 60-second short, giving them like 10 questions in 60 seconds. I might do a short like that and post on TikTok and stuff. I am hyped.
That'd be cool.
So hopefully it gets accepted. I just worried about the age thing. You might have to be 18, 16, so... but yeah, no. The school I go to have a partnership with Essential Screen Skills Australia, and they are hosting this careers expo down at the Gold Coast. My media teacher really recommended it to me and Josh because we want to work in the film industry after school. So we're going to it, and I'm going to see Raka Raka there. I'm going to their panel. I got tickets.
That's cool.
I can't wait. Next Sunday. So hopefully I can get some clips, and maybe record a little bit of what they talk about at their panel. It should be good.
Yeah.
But Talk to Me is my 10th favorite movie of the year. I love it. I've watched it twice.
You and I will watch it, and we'll record our reaction. Okay.
Me and you need to watch. I want to watch it with you. I really want to watch it with you. I like it a lot.
We'll watch it together.
It was genuinely scary. I got scared. Me and Josh, when we watched it, we were the only ones in the theater, and it has some scary scenes. Paranormal is what does it for me. Paranormal is the step I don't like. Is the territory I don't like stepping into. It's actually what scares me. I like watching scary movies. I like the adrenaline rush. I like that feeling of the fright. I don't know. It's the adrenaline rush. It has got some scary scenes. So I've watched it twice. Once in theaters and then again on Netflix at a mate's house. And it still holds up. I love it a lot. Especially for Raka Raka's, Michael Filippo and Danny Filippo's directorial debut. Just low budget. A24 picked it up, and it nearly made $100 million on a...
Yeah, which is almost... Didn't they only spend 10 million on it?
No.
2 million.
2? They went on Joe Rogan's podcast. I listened to it. Talk to Me budget. 5 million. 4.5 million. 4.5 mil. So they They made 96 million about that off it.
They made 25 times the amount.
Yeah, that's
wild.
Good on them. It was a solid movie.
And it's good for Australian cinema as well.
It is. It was filmed all in Adelaide. They go to Australian train stations. At the parties they go to, they got Australian riddle music, the Australian accents, real Aussie. It feels weird, but I think it's
what the world needed, because
we're
always been
big in America
just that little bit behind.
Exactly, and this was big in America, so I wonder how they perceived. Like, they all loved it. It's got like 98% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Everyone loved it. Joe Rogan loved it. They interviewed the two twins after the movie came out. Man, we got to watch it together. Gotta watch it. I can't wait for number 2, because the ending of it. That's the thing I can't get into. I'm not gonna spoil it. The ending of the movie is trippy. Oh
no! Now I'm scared.
Trippy.
Alrighty.
That's my 10th.
we'll go. So my number 9th. I recently made my mom watch this. She
Okay.
thoroughly enjoyed it. Cocaine Bear.
Oh yeah. Okay, I had that. I had Cocaine Bear 36th, so fifth last.
Wow.
Fifth last. Bro, we were so hyped. All of us boys at work were so hyped for this movie. Remember? No,
It was worth it.
Shit.
It wasn't shit. I gave it 4 stars.
Shit.
I thought it was comedy gold. I think the world needed something like this. They also want to do like heroin shark or something. Like they want to do different ones, and I think we will
Yeah, they're doing a cocaine shark.
Banks is the director. Yeah. I think they're fun, good movies. We used to get these kind of movies in the early 2000s, like parodies and stuff, and they were great, easy to watch movies, and I don't think the world's gotten a lot of them yet at the moment. Like,
Okay.
you need to, like, it's kind of like the American Pies of the world, or the scary movies of the world. I don't know if you've watched them, probably not, you're a bit too young, you shouldn't be. But, if you've seen those kind of movies, you know what I understand. It's very satirical, does not take itself seriously at all. It's meant to be exaggerated, and we haven't gotten something like that in a very long time, and I think it does it well.
Okay. Yeah.
It's also good for Ice Cube's son.
Yeah, he was in it. Jackson Jr.
What's your 9th?
My 9th was. This was okay. It's a funny one. Good three. This is one of Josh's favorite movies this year. This is the first foreign movie I've ever watched. I was refusing to watch this movie for the fact that it was not in English, and I'm like, I'm not reading fluent subtitles for 2 hours straight. Nah, I'm not doing it. But I caved in. I caved in. I watched it, and it was fucking amazing. Godzilla -1. Amazing visual effects, amazing practical effects. I love it. Probably my favorite Godzilla movie. I'm due for a rewatch. It's my 9th. I gave it a 4. I gave it 4.5. And I did not expect that. I was like, I was pissed off I was sitting there, the ads are playing, I'm pissed off. I'm like, I gotta read for 2 hours straight. I gotta read, listening to Japanese. Not that Japanese is bad. I'm just saying, like, I'm gonna be listening to words I don't understand for 2 hours straight, and I gotta read their lips with subtitles. Meaning, what if I take my eyes off the screen for a second, and what if I want to like look down, my phone goes off, or what if I want to grab my drink, I have to look down, I miss what is said. So, but it was fine. It's actually not that bad. It's pretty easy to follow. And it was Godzilla actually like had a kind of a character arc throughout, and I need to. It's great. Watch it, man.
Yeah.
I
will.
I was refusing to watch this, and it was my first foreign film, and it's honestly opened me up to other foreign films, other international films.
I watched a few.
Because this was my first one, and no, it actually wasn't my first one. Technically, The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari that came out in 1920 was my first one.
My God.
I had to watch that for grade 10.
Yeah, okay.
Grade 10 or 11 film exam. That's the downfall of, like, film is my favorite subject at school, but that's the downfall of it. The downside of it, you've got to watch when film actually started back in the early 1900s. This was a German expressionism film, so it was in German, and idiot, they didn't have any dialogue. That's right, it was in German, but they didn't have any dialogue because, well, you couldn't record audio back then. So it just had, like, every 5 minutes annotations would come up on the screen what was happening, but that film just, like, played on visual stuff to tell you what's happening. So no, Godzilla -1 is my first non-English speaking film I've watched.
Yeah, there you go.
But not my first foreign film, but my first non-English speaking film. 4.5. Oh, solid, man. I loved it. Favorite Godzilla movie, I think. Japanese, man, they do it good.
They do. Well, it's their
It is their.
If anyone's gonna do it, it's gonna be them.
Yeah, they created the original. Yeah. What's your 8th?
My number 8 is Gran Turismo.
Oh, good one. Yep.
It's just kind of nestled in there.
Yeah, man.
Nothing special, but 3.5.
Solid,
I thought David Harbour was good. I thought it was something that kind of came out the blue though. Like, Gran Turismo, long-term game, came out late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, it's been around for a while.
I've played a bunch of them.
Yep.
And it was just something that I wouldn't have considered. Like, Sony has done like a Need for Speed game, movie. Sorry, with Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad. I'm blanking
Alan
on
Paul.
his name now.
Aaron Paul.
Yeah.
Aaron Paul, really?
Aaron Paul. Yeah, he's in it. Watch it. Need for Speed's great. It's not a great movie. It's a good movie. You should watch it.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So they've done
Need for
games like
Speed,
movies like this before, but it was fine. Like nothing crazy, just kind of nestled in there.
For sure. I haven't said it yet. It's coming up soon. Yeah, I liked it a lot too. When I get to it, I'll see it. That's a little spoiler. It is a little bit higher on my list. I enjoyed it a lot. You know, it's based on a true story too. It is dramatized a bit, but every true story has to become entertaining. But no, it is solid. It was solid.
It was. Yeah, I think solid's the easy word for it.
Yeah.
What
Okay.
about you? What's your 8th?
My 8th one is one you haven't said yet either, so you got it high up too.
Okay.
This one is okay. If Barbenheimer, there you go. Barbenheimer wasn't a thing, I wouldn't have watched it.
Yeah. Okay.
Ryan Gosling steals the show. Barbie is my 8th. Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie robbed at the Oscars. Snubbed, bro. They didn't get Oscar nominations for their directorial and actress role. Actually ridiculous, but Barbie was so fun. And it wasn't just a little girl's Barbie movie. It had, adult humor in it that little kids wouldn't understand. So, parents could go along and watch it with them. And then we saw it, obviously, opening weekend alongside with Oppenheimer, our Barbenheimer weekend. That was a big weekend, and it was fun. We watched Barbie first, and then Oppenheimer. And Barbie surprised me how entertaining. It was entertaining. It was good. Stacked cast, very good. The roles, the casting was perfect. Margot Robbie
Set
as
design.
Barbie, Ryan Gosling as Ken. It was perfect. Those two alone.
It was.
No, Barbie just shocked me, and I give it a 4.5. Yeah, 8th for me. It was just out of the blue entertaining. Like, I didn't expect anything, and we wouldn't, let's be real, we wouldn't have seen it if Barbenheimer wasn't a thing. Like, be real.
I still would have seen it.
You reckon? You say that,
Yeah,
but would you really have?
No, I would have. I think it was too big, and it carried too much for us not to. And I think we would have had to anyway.
I mean,
too big of a movie.
Like, you didn't see FNAF, that was massive.
Yeah, but...
I don't know. I honestly don't reckon we would have. I know I wouldn't have.
I would have.
But Barbenheimer definitely boosted the box office numbers. We've talked about this a lot. It boosted the box office numbers for both Oppenheimer and Barbie, and it was a solid event. It was go down in the history books for.
I think Oppenheimer benefited. I think Barbie may have not.
Barbie was making over $1 billion regardless. Oppenheimer benefited.
I agree.
I agree. Oppenheimer would never make $950 million. Never, ever in any world would it have made $950 million. I don't care that it's a Christopher Nolan film. It just wouldn't have. Movies like Oppenheimer don't. Look at Napoleon, that made $200 million. Look at Killers of the Flower Moon, very similar movies that made $200 million. That's got a big director. It's got Martin Scorsese and then Ridley Scott on Napoleon.
Did Bohemian Rhapsody make?
Over $1 billion? It made like $1 billion, didn't it?
I think Bohemian did, yeah.
Yeah.
And there was Rocket Man, which is the Elton John one. With...
are you talking about, biopics?
Yeah, Elvis.
Elvis made like $300 million, which is good for its budget.
Yeah.
No, this Oppenheimer is the type of movie, this type of movie, how long it is, how slow it is, how mentally draining it is. It's not a movie that would make $950 million in 2023. Remember that. In 2023, Oppenheimer is not the type of movie that would make $950 million. It benefited crazy off Barbenheimer. And
although I think it's appropriate for its time, maybe if it came out maybe 6 months later, like with everything going on now, I think...
It would have never made over $500 million.
No, it wouldn't have. But with all this World War III drama going on and everybody talking about it, in which, again, I'm not getting political, but I think people are jumping to conclusions. It takes a lot more
they always
for people to go to world war. No country wants to go to war.
Just don't draft me, and I'm good.
Yeah, well, they won't. You're underage.
Yeah, not for long though.
Depends on how desperate they get.
Exactly, in a year's time.
No, I don't think
No, I'm not.
Nobody wants to go to a world war. Everybody has too many. We've learned.
Unless it's Bellamy.
We've learned as a world. Okay. You know
he's a G.
who had the highest death? You know who had the highest death toll in World War II?
Who Hitler?
Wasn't the Jews? Wasn't the Germans? It was the Russians.
Yeah.
The Russians had the highest death count in
They've
World
always
War II.
Russians have always been like that.
Yeah, they've won a lot of battles. They're the ones who stormed Berlin in 1945, but nobody wants to go to war, and
we're now
Oppenheimer shows why.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad you related that back to Oppenheimer. That's a good clutch.
Yeah.
Good clutch.
Oppenheimer shows why because the entire story of it was he made the nuclear bombs so that nobody had to use the nuclear bomb.
Yeah.
Right?
Atomic bomb
that
actually,
they use
buddy.
the nuclear... Sorry. An atomic bomb. I actually learned this. An atomic bomb and a hydrothermic bomb. The atomic bomb releases radiation. I'm pretty sure a hydrothermic does not. May be incorrect, but there's two types of nukes. One releases radiation, one does not. The more recent one that does not release radiation is what is more common. So you shouldn't have to worry about radiation poisoning, guys.
Okay, thanks for that.
Fun facts with Joseph.
Thank you.
So my number 7th is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
There we go. Good job.
I thought the soundtrack phenomenal.
Yes.
I think the way that they tied it off, again, phenomenal. Everybody, well, not everybody, but stories were finished. Character arcs finished, and I think that they did it perfectly. Like Rocket being the new captain, him having his storyline, like he's hospitalized or he's out of it for a little bit, but for I'd say about a third of the movie. Chris Pratt, probably his best performance, one of his best performances in any movie, I think.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I agree.
I just thought James Gunn, kudos, because I don't think anybody else could have finished this trilogy like he did. I think he's...
Yeah.
This is... Guardians of the Galaxy shows what happens when you stick with your director.
Facts.
I'll leave it as that.
Consistent.
I'll leave it as that.
3.
We won't say anything. We won't say anything else.
Good stuff.
What's your 7?
7th is Gran Turismo. One that surprised me. Fun film. I like my car racing. I gave a review on it, so let me put my review. I gave a Letterboxd review on it. I gave it 4 out of 5. Now, some of you might get, like, I gave, like, Godzilla Minus 1 a 4.5, but it's 9th. I gave Gran Turismo a 4 and it's 7th. The way I rate movies is how good they are as movies, as well as how much I found them entertaining. Godzilla has both aspects well. It's 4.5. Gran Turismo has more of an entertaining, has a higher rating for my entertainment than it has for like a filmmaking perspective, and I put both into thing. But entertainment will always be high because it's my films ranked. It's not 2023's best movies. It's 2023 films ranked in my opinion, if that makes sense at all. Where are we at? What's it called? Gran Turismo.
7th.
This is what I get. Gran Turismo, 4 stars. Car racing enthusiasts will love this film, and I'm one of those that did. Short review. So yeah, again, if you like cars, if you like car racing, you're gonna like this film. The fact that I've played the video game before, it was just a perfect film for me. Someone who loves cars, someone who loves car racing video games. I played them so much growing up. I had my own. I still have it. My racing wheel. Gran Turismo was a great game on the PS. And it's based on a real story. I did a little research on it, and it's quite cool. So 7th for me, Gran Turismo.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, man.
My 6th, and here's where it'll come. Barbie. My 6th. I think it everything it tries to accomplish, I think it does accomplish it.
Accomplishes it well.
Ryan Gosling,
babe.
I love it. Robbie.
Robbie. Love it.
Michael Cera, phenomenal.
Yeah.
I don't know. This movie made me laugh. It
did in unexpected
did make me
ways.
emotional.
It hurt, bro.
Yeah, it was. At first look, it looked bad, and I get
definitely
why everybody was. But my rewatch, I saw it as what it was, and it's all of it is an exaggeration of either side, of both male and female
Yeah.
idiosyncrasies, if you will, or personalities.
Yeah.
But I think it's supposed to be over exaggerated, and it's supposed to be the most extreme parts of each other, and make a funny but
Well said.
important story about it. And I think Greta Gerwig does really well, and
She
I
did,
hope
and
she.
definitely snubbed at the Oscars. No nomination.
Yes, I agree. I think Barbie deserved. I thought Barbie, once I watched it, deserved set design immediately without question.
Yeah.
You could argue Wonka. I thought Wonka's set design
It was good.
was
I
equally
think
as good, if not better.
the best
but
set design
think
from
Barbie had better characters.
no. Set design Barbie. Costuming though, poor things.
I'll take your word for it.
It was pretty good. Pretty
Yeah.
goddamn good.
What's your sixth?
My sixth is Babylon, another one that came out in 2022 in the
Ah.
States, but it came out early 2023 here in Australia. You didn't watch it, obviously.
No.
Margot Robbie's in it, Brad Pitt's in it, and it's
Oh, that's right.
it's different. It's interesting. If you're a film, would you like it?
I've seen bits and pieces of it.
I don't know, to be honest. See, I think people would think I wouldn't like it, but it's an interesting film, and that's why I like it.
Sure.
It's kind of like Poor Things, even though Poor Things is 21st for me. It's interesting, it's experimental, and it's crazy. It's set in the late 1920s, sometime early 1900s, and I usually don't like films like that. I don't like films set before 1960 at the earliest. I just don't like the vibe. I just don't like it.
Okay.
I just don't like that era. But Babylon, I liked a lot. It's my sixth favorite, and I gave it 4.5. You know, again, a film that was snobbed at the 2023 Oscars, the Oscars last year, because it was marked as a 2022 film because it came out then in the States, and like from a filmmaking perspective, it's pretty goddamn good. The acting is good. Margot Robbie, Brad Pitt. Not Margot Robbie's best performance. Oh no, I think it's Barbie. I think Barbie
has to be her best performance.
I don't think it's the top 4 contenders are Barbie, Wolf of Wall Street, Babylon, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, I think she needs to dominate a movie in her own way, though. Every movie she's done well in, she's been next to a big star, whether it be Brad Pitt, Will Smith,
Ryan,
in Focus, Ryan Gosling, yeah. Like, she's always good in her films. She's always good individually in her films. But I don't know.
I was gonna say.
I feel like she's in something that I'm
Harley
forgetting.
Quinn, but she plays Harley Quinn movies aren't the best, but she plays Harley Quinn very well.
Sure. Suicide Squad, the 2021.
Yes, James Gunn one. The James Gunn one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that may be her best individual performance. Because the movie wasn't groundbreaking, but she needs to be a standout. That's what I don't think she's been able to do, is be a standout. If you look at Barbie, where's all the fame? It's Ryan Gosling. Leo, obviously, in Wolf of Wall Street, it has to be Leo.
Yeah. Once Upon a Time, Leo as well. Babylon, what I'll say about Babylon is it's very crazy at the start. I'm like, this film is freaky because there's some stuff that happens in the start is what the fuck. I am in for a ride, and I was in for a ride. Nearly 3 hours, I believe the film was.
Yeah, it's a long film.
It was it over 3 hours? It was long. I know that, so. And I watched it without no distractions. Like, I was hooked, but I was there with my hand on my chin, like thinking to myself, what the fuck? It's one of those movies that is a good what the fuck. It's not a bad what the fuck. Yeah. If that makes sense. I definitely recommend it. If you got time, give it a watch. Okay. I would watch it again, definitely. I would watch it again easily. It's it's very good character development from start to the middle and then to the end, finishing it, honestly, might be the... trying to think. There's got to be other films out there, but it's bold, but it might have one of the best, like, not character arcs, but character developments. Like, from the start, that character is very different to the character at the end. Which all movies should have, but movies these days don't do that very well, and Babylon was one that stood out. Give it a watch. Give it a watch if you have the time. It's not a must, but if you got the time there, give it a watch. It's
Definitely.
interesting. It's interesting.
Okay. Alrighty, I'll do that. Now we're getting into the top 5.
Top 5. Here we go.
Final 5.
Yes.
Surprisingly, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is my 5.
That's crazy. I didn't watch it. That's crazy, dude.
I gave it a 4. I thought it was one of the funniest movies of the year. It had so many. It broke the fourth wall. It had so many inside jokes. I thought it was so good. Probably better than both live action movies.
Nah, okay.
I don't know.
A lot of people don't like those live action movies.
You need to watch it.
I love my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, man. It was my thing as a kid. Me and my brother were obsessed with that. Yeah.
You need to watch it. It's done very well.
Okay. That's crazy. It's your 5th.
Yeah. Well, it definitely could. I could have that and Barbie kind of interchangeable. They're both 4 stars for me, so they're pretty on par. It's just, if I want to watch a fun movie, if I would rather watch a movie, it'd be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Between Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Barbie, I would rather watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Purely because it's shorter and it's easier to watch.
Yeah.
As a movie, I enjoy it more as a movie.
Very interesting. Fair enough.
You're 5.
5th for me. 5th. One I actually watched later in the year as well, which is with Josh at his house. Scream 6, my favorite Scream movie, blew me out of the park. Definitely the best Scream movie that they've hidden who Ghostface is. I'm a Scream fan. You guys know I like my slashes, Scream, Halloween, and that. Really just Scream and Halloween. Honestly, Scream 6 makes me like Halloween more. There's too many Halloween movies. There's only 6 Scream movies, and 6 was so good. Like, when you're watching a Scream movie, if you got to watch Scream with friends, because you can play around and guess, and you guys can have fun guessing who you think Ghostface is going to be, and then at the end it's obviously revealed. And it's a fun movie like that. And me being, I've been a horror fan. I got into horror a lot more last year, and then I've continued to like this grow horror. There's some really crap horror, but there's some really great horror. And Scream, I used to Scream franchise. Started out as a horror like Halloween, but it's a slasher. It's not scary. It's gory, sure. It's not scary. But it gets you thinking. It's a murder mystery. And I love those films. I love films that get me thinking. That's definitely why it's high up. It's an interactive film, and interactive films. I honestly think I have ADHD, so it keeps me hooked. You
should play Black Mirror. It was a Netflix game, and
okay, I've heard of it.
You can go through separate outcomes. So it's like,
I've heard of that.
You choose different outcomes, and it's kind of cool.
But no, Scream 6. Have you watched any Screams?
No, none of them have really appealed to me.
Okay, I love Scream. And 6 definitely my favorite. They're getting better, but like 4 was probably the worst one. 5 was very solid. It was a very good comeback. But 6, my top 3 probably goes. 2's very good. I don't know, but 6 is my favorite one. Just they hid who Ghostface was very well, and you're not gonna. I can spoil it, yeah.
Isn't it the blonde dude?
It's actually 3 of them. So it's someone who actually died in the movie, and then it's one of the cops. It's a family, so it's a dad and then his son and daughter.
That's unique.
I loved it. I thought.
I suppose after 6, you're gonna have to go for it.
Yeah. And there was 3 Ghostfaces. I guessed one of them right. At the start of the movie, I'm like, I reckon it's that Ranger chick, and then she died. I'm like, oh well, it's not her then. And then at the end, she comes back, takes the Ghostface mask off, and it's her. And then it's cool. The cop's dad, like he acted all sad when she died and shit, like the murder case and stuff.
Yeah,
because she was murdered by Ghostface. But it was all just an act. I love it. Right. I love it. Me and Josh.
That's cool.
Did me and Josh do a review on it? I remember. It was great. I loved it. It was good.
Yeah.
5th favorite.
Okay. Here's my number 4th. This is Across the Spider-Verse.
Okay, there it is. There it is.
Yeah. I think not much needs being said. It's just another good Spider-Man movie. I think it sets up 3 perfectly. I still prefer 1. I still prefer Into the Spider-Verse. To me, it's just a little bit more charming. To me, it's just a little bit more organic. This one feels more like a setup, whereas the first one was just like, I'm a movie, come watch me. This one, you have to watch the third kind of thing. Just purely on the way that it finishes.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was talking about. The ending, man. It does that, so it's like, let's
smart,
do this.
but
So you come.
I don't love it because it just means you have to wait. I prefer movies in which, it leaves opening for a sequel, but doesn't lead directly to force you to watch it. It's not that I have a problem with it. I was always going to watch it no matter how the movie came out. But
yeah.
No, it's number 4 for me.
Okay,
it's
fair
4.5 stars.
Fourth for me is one, again, I was very hyped for, but then I was skeptical when I found out a little bit more of it when it was actually out in theaters, and I heard a little bit of it while working, and then I saw it like a few days after it came out, 3 days after it came out, is Wonka. We did a Wonka review just about a month ago now, 3 weeks ago. We ranked our Willy Wonkas, and I'm not going to say too much because we literally just talked about it in our review, so go check out that quick review we did. But Wonka was charming, electrifying, and I loved it a lot more than I expected. I gave it 4.5. I've watched it twice now, and I just love how it. I love the ending, how it goes right perfectly into Gene Wilder's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Seeing the building of the chocolate factory was amazing. My only issue with it was it doesn't they need another movie in between this one and Gene Wilder's one. To me,
so you and I discussed it a bit actually.
Yeah, we did.
How we hope it goes down.
Yeah. So we get another one that's set in between Wonka and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and Gene Wilder one, and we see Willy Wonka starting to get crazy, starting to get
I've got it. They call this one Wonka. They call the next one Chocolate Factory.
Yes.
Bang. So we get Wonka, and then we get Chocolate Factory, and then we get Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
It's perfect. Perfect trilogy, and they just make that...
perfect trilogy. God. I'm a genius.
You are
Hire
a genius.
Hire me.
Guy, who owns Willy Wonka? Warner Brothers? Hire Joseph.
Yeah, Warner Brothers.
It was great. Wonka was great. I've said a lot, and
Marketing team.
I love it. One of my favorite movies of 2023. 4th.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Surprisingly, too.
Surprisingly. What's your third?
My third is Creed 3. You were not excited for this movie.
Yeah, well, you guys notice how I haven't said
exciting.
Creed 3 yet? Yeah.
Yeah.
God.
But if you want to go back to our predictions, which was roughly a year ago, because this movie came out in February.
It came in March.
March. Okay.
March 3rd, 2023.
Okay, well,
3rd of the 3rd, 23.
Our predictions would have come out around now, a year ago.
Yeah.
Isaac was not excited for it. I was super excited for it. And this movie lived up to each and every one of my expectations and a little bit higher. Michael B. Jordan cannot do wrong.
Jonathan Majors was great. Was amazing.
Jonathan Majors was great in it. He was getting some practice at home by the sounds of it too. Sounds like he was really dedicated to it.
Yeah, well, method acting.
That's scary. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, that's we've done a reaction to it a year ago, well, a little less than, but
yeah,
thoroughly impressed with this. Michael B. Jordan, thoroughly impressed with his directorial debut, and he has emotion. He pulls on your heartstrings. He has great choreography. He has great cinematography. Some of the shots he does in the ring, we haven't seen that kind of shot. Those kind of shots in fighting movies. He has his own vision.
Yeah, the ring things was good, and
he has his own vision. He has his own what he wants, and and you can see that when you can tell a director by watching his film and not reading the director's name, the director is original.
Yep,
and that's good.
Well, funny enough, Creed 3 is also my third.
Let's go.
You know, you guys know I was not excited for this. I said in our predictions, I'm probably gonna walk out halfway through this film. I just thought they were gonna disrespect Sylvester Stallone a lot. You guys know how much I love that guy. One of my favorite actors. One of my favorite. You know, he created my favorite franchise, Adrian. They didn't do that. I do wish they gave us more. It is Rocky's overall story. I know it's moved on, but it's still the franchise of Rocky. But it's my third favorite. I give it a 5-star. Did I give it a 5? I gave it 4.5. I gave it 4.5.
I gave it 4.5.
I only gave one film this year 5, which is my first.
I gave 1 and 2.
So Creed 3, 4.5.
No,
you
I
guys can go watch our review on that because we did it the day, like literally minutes after we got home from watching it. And
yeah, we did, didn't we?
I was so wrong. I was so wrong about that movie. I enjoyed it.
And I'm so glad that you
They're
were
doing
wrong.
a Creed 4, and again, I'm in the same boat as I was going into Creed 3. I was very iffy about Creed 3. I'm even more iffy about Creed 4 now. As good as Creed 3 was, what's Creed 4 gonna? I don't know.
If anything, I have
A
more
second one
confidence
without
that it'll be good.
A second one without Sly. At least
Well,
I don't know. They're just like it's just Erwin Winkler, man. He's just doing him dirty.
we discussed this. He's old. He'll die soon. Okay.
Yeah, he's like 96. Just Sly.
Rocky won't be. Sly won't be in the second one. Sly won't be in 4, but he'll be in 5, so it's fine. He'll start training Creed's daughter. She's definitely going to get some kind of step up.
Oh, they're gonna do a whole trilogy late. Rocky's gonna be one of those franchises that gets dragged down, and that just hurts. But I love Creed 3 a lot.
I think by them
As
changing
a
the name
movie,
of it keeps it. I think it maintains Rocky's reputation by changing the name.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Same universe, different
as
people, different.
I love boxing, you guys know. You know, I come from a boxing family, and Creed 3 as a boxing movie is fantastic. I really enjoyed it. Third favorite movie of the year. You know, obviously biggest movie I was wrong about. That and God, I was so wrong about Creed 3. So wrong. I did not find myself one bit like saying, yeah, fuck this shit, I'm out. I was thinking about, fuck, I was wrong about this. This is good. And it was 4.5 stars, my third favorite movie of 2023. What's your second, top 2?
Your number 4, Wonka.
Wonka.
I thought.
Respect.
I haven't watched much Timothée Chalamet. I
No.
didn't have any expectations for him. He was fantastic.
He was.
to be
Yeah, you
honest.
love this a lot, eh?
I can't name somebody who would have done a better job.
No, he was perfect as young.
Genuinely
Yeah.
perfect. And yeah, the set design, I thought
Yeah.
on par with Barbie's. It genuinely felt like a lived-in chocolate, like, chocolate ran society. And yeah, I thought it was really good. The side characters kind of bring it down. They're not great, but that's just my own opinion. I know that I'm very picky when it comes to like that kind of English,
yeah, me too.
almost Roald Dahlian,
Yep.
scrappy kind of. I can't. It doesn't glue with me. I
Yeah,
don't know.
no, me too.
That's just purely me being picky.
Yep.
But it does what it tries to do incredibly well, and I can't take it away from it. It sets up another one, and I hope that they do it, because genuinely it does wonders for its predecessor.
And it's
I
done
think
very well at the box office. It had a
it's done
budget.
justice for its predecessor, I should say.
Yeah, it had a budget of 125 million. Have a guess of its box office.
600 mil.
600 mil? You might be very close, because it's last time also. Wonka has made 553 million.
I'll take that. You round up.
Yeah, it made 600 million as of the 2nd of the 2nd, 2020.
I'm rounding in 50s.
4. Yep. But while I'm on the box office, what is the highest grossing movie of 2024 so far? The Beekeeper, obviously.
Let me guess.
Beekeeper and then
Is it?
Beekeeper and then Mean Girls. Did you watch Beekeeper?
I wouldn't have guessed
Beekeeper
either
was
of those.
solid. Well, there's nothing else. Beekeeper was solid.
Oh, I suppose.
I like it. Like,
Yeah,
it's
I
made
suppose.
105 million. Beekeeper was good.
Okay.
Typical good action Jason Statham film.
Apparently, Mean Girls is not.
Yeah, no
great.
remake of the other one. I'd never even heard of it.
It's a musical now. Apparently.
Yeah, well, I no idea. And then you got Night Swim third for 41 million.
Oh my God, Night Swim, that looks awful.
It does.
What's your second?
Okay, my second is Christopher Nolan's masterpiece, Oppenheimer. This was a great movie. It was my number one movie of the year. I've watched it 3 times now. I gave it 4.5 stars for the first watch, 5 stars for the second watch, and then back down to 4.5 stars for the third watch. And then after the third watch, I put it second. It's mentally draining. That's my biggest. It's too long. And again, someone Gen Z, I can't help it, but I'm just born. It's not my fault I was born into generation. I bloody don't get the luck of having a normal attention span. I can't help it, man. I grew up with all this short format stuff, so
yeah,
it's
not our fault for it's not our fault for using it. It's your fault for putting it in our hands.
Exactly.
That's
Oppenheimer is a masterpiece. I made a Christopher Nolan. I think I've came to the conclusion he's my favorite director. Definitely top 2 with Martin Scorsese.
Scorsese though.
Yeah, he's
Spielberg.
Spielberg
might be mine.
I did a ranking on Instagram. I'll pull that up real quick.
You're a bit too young for Spielberg.
Hey, fuck you. I've seen.
You haven't watched that many Spielberg movies.
I have seen so many. Name a Spielberg movie. I'll say I've watched it.
Jurassic Park.
Watched it, obviously.
Back to the Future.
Shut up. I haven't watched it. Sure. I haven't watched Saving Private Ryan either. I've watched Jurassic Park, E.T., Jaws. I've watched its 3 main classics. E.T., Jaws.
But the only reason you've watched those is because they're Disney affiliated.
Not because they're Disney affiliated.
Sorry.
At
Lucasfilm
all.
affiliated.
How is Jaws Lucasfilm affiliated?
Oh no, okay, no, but it's because Spielberg was on with. Oh, what did you say before? What did you say you watched?
Jaws, E.T., Jurassic.
E.T.
E.T. I get. Yes, Yoda's in it, literally, and E.T. are in The Phantom Menace. Anyway.
No, I meant more like Kathleen.
Oh, true.
Connected to it.
Well, fuck her. I made a post 2 weeks ago, my favorite film directors, my top 10. So I'll just do this real quick. 10th, I got James Mangold. 9th, I got Stanley Kubrick.
Oh, I saw
8th,
this, yeah.
I've got Sylvester Stallone. 7th, I've got Jordan Peele. 6th, I've got David Fincher. 5th, I've got Steven Spielberg. There you go, 5th. 4th, I've got George Lucas. 3rd, I've got Tim Burton. 2nd, Martin Scorsese. And 1st, Christopher Nolan. And on top of Oppenheimer, my Christopher Nolan ranked goes first. I'll go last, actually. 12th. I've seen every single Christopher Nolan movie. How do I edit this list? Because I want to change one movie around. Anyway, 12th, I've got his directorial debut, Following. Then I've got 11 in Simonia, is that how, if that's how you say it. 10th, I've got The Dark Knight Rises. 9th, I've got Tenet. 8th, I've got Dunkirk. 7th, I've got The Prestige, which is great. 6th, I got Memento. Everything from The Prestige and up is like 5 out of 5s. 7th, The Prestige. 6th, Memento. 5th, Batman Begins. 4th, Inception. 3rd, Oppenheimer. 2nd, The Dark Knight. And 1st, of course, Interstellar. Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, Oppenheimer, my second favorite movie of 2023. Just a cinematic masterpiece, bro. We don't get many films like this. We all get brain rot. We get brain rot nowadays, and so it was good to have an actual movie like this.
And I think this movie was impactful to the world.
Very impactful.
To be fair, I think both this and Barbie was
Yeah. Both had
impactful
messaging
to the world. Yeah. But
And
I think
Cillian
Oppenheimer
Murphy
is
for that Oscar.
And
If he doesn't-
Oppenheimer is such a stacked cast, man.
It is, bro. You got
Such a
Cillian
stacked
Murphy,
cast.
Emily Blunt, Matt Damon, Robert Downey Jr., Florence Pugh, and then a bunch of other big, like Eldon and Richardson, who plays Han in Solo. You've also got the guy from Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Like, it's crazy, bro. And that main cast: Cillian Murphy, Emily Blunt, Matt Damon, Robert Downey Jr., Florence Pugh. It's crazy.
That in itself
Cillian
is
Murphy
wild.
better get that Best Actor. Robert Downey Jr. for Best Supporting Actor. He got nominated alongside Ryan. I hope at least one of them win. You know, I hope Robert or Ryan win. I'll be happy between those two. But at least one of them better win. Ryan or Robert. If I'll be happy if they both win. If either of them
Yeah.
win. But
Well,
Cillian Murphy better win Best Actor. If he doesn't, I'm never talking about the Oscars again. It's just ridiculous, stupid thing. That's
well, he may not because of this diversity issue.
Fucking bullshit. I hate it, man.
But,
Just give it
We'll
a bit.
leave that. We'll
leave
leave
that
that for when it
March,
happens.
for March,
For when the problem
next
happens.
month.
Yeah.
But Oppenheimer second for me. Now the first
well-
one obviously leaves. Your
I mean,
first
it's
is
Oppenheimer for me.
Oppenheimer. What, 5 out of 5?
5 out of 5. The audio, like, just
Oh, dude.
the way that this movie makes you feel
dude.
when you're watching it. It's when a movie makes you feel more than just what you can feel watching it. Like,
Dude, that Trinity
your
test
body
scene,
rattles.
That Trinity test scene, it was silent for 10 plus minutes. We were waiting for it to go off. We're like, okay, it's going to go off
Yeah.
any second,
But
any minute
that
now.
displays how
10 to 15 minutes of silence, and then it goes off, and
And-
the cinema rattles. But at work,
You
we
know
could be
that's
down
real.
in the foyer, and we could know when Oppenheimer, when
Yeah.
the Trinity test scene was
Yeah.
on, because we could feel it and hear it. It's crazy, bro. Oh, bro,
And
so good.
I think the message that it sends to the world right now, again with all the politicals, and then with Oppenheimer, the way that Cillian shows,
Yeah. It's genuinely a masterpiece of a film, and Christopher Nolan does a perfection job on it. And again, it shows he's one of the best working directors today. He also did the screenplay for it, I believe. And another Oscar snub. It didn't get nominated for Best Visual Effects, which it didn't have CGI, but it still had its, those
it's
visual
gonna have
effects
special
artists
effects, but
did crazy. It's ridiculous.
it just means that they had to work harder.
It's ridiculous how it didn't get nominated. It's like, are they stupid? Nowadays, people just think, oh, visual effects, it's CGI. There is so much more to visual effects than CGI. CGI is a subcategory of visual
It's
effects.
what you
but
do
so much
behind
more.
the scenes, no matter what.
So much more, man. And Oppenheimer was amazing. First respect.
Yeah.
Um.
Yeah, I think it just
Yeah.
carries so much weight behind it, and yeah, I think it deserves number one.
Now,
And yours? What's yours?
the only film I give 5 out of 5, very unexpected, because I did a marathon of these films before I watched this. My brother loves these movies, and I wasn't too fancy on the other ones. This one was perfect, just perfect movie. It was entertaining. It was fully entertaining. I was hooked the whole time. My brother saw it how many times? Maybe 13 times. I've seen it 3 times. And that is The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbird and Snakes. And you guys are like, what the hell? Yeah, I don't know. I just
Yeah.
love it. I don't know. It must be a thing me and my brother have. We both just love this movie so much. He's seen it, as I said, 13 plus times. I've seen it 3 times. A best Hunger Games movie for me. Only movie I give 5 out of 5, which is crazy. It's just, it keeps me hooked, and a film that keeps me hooked, it's nearly 3 hours long. A film that can keep me hooked for 3 hours is, as I said, I think I have ADHD, so it's hard to do that. And it did it well. And go check out my Hunger Games review I did with a special guest a few months back now, for my full thoughts. But I think I'm due for a rewatch. I haven't watched it in, when was my last time I logged it? Last time I watched it was December 2nd. So I am in for a rewatch. 3 months ago today. 3 months. What the frick? Dude, it's February.
Go watch it now.
What?
Yeah.
No, 2 months. 2 months
It's
ago
wild.
today. It was just December. This is crazy. But no, I know it might come to a shock to you all, but The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbird and Snakes, my favorite movie of the year.
Yeah.
Another Oscar snub. It didn't get any nominations. Olivia Rodrigo should have got nominated for Can't Catch Me Now. That song was amazing. I loved it, and no, just a great movie all around. Third act of the film was a little bit rushed. It's kind of where it fell off, but it's still 5 out of 5. It's goated. I love it. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
This, I'm not into dystopian films that much, but The Hunger Games, Ballad of Songbird and Snakes, perfect. Loved it. And yeah, man, 5 stars. Gotta go for a rewatch. Favorite movie of 2023. It's crazy. I didn't think that would be my favorite movie of the year. Heck, I didn't even know
No,
about it.
I don't think
until
anybody. Yeah, we should do a predicted list for movies of this year.
This year, where Sweden, yeah, we definitely do. We're a little bit behind this year, but getting back into the rhythm of things. We'll be back.
Yeah.
We'll be back. Yeah. But no, there we go. We've been recording this segment for an hour and 42 minutes. I told you this video would go for an hour to 2 hours. I'm like, we're going to be recording for like an hour to 2 hours.
That's
Did
alright.
you realize that? And then obviously when I include my bit of my 40th to 20th, it's going to be over 2 hours. But hey, our first episode on the movie pod was looking back at 2023 films and shows, and that was 4.5 hours. Oh my god, the editing in that. Oh, pain. But that was shows as well. This is just movies.
Yeah.
Shows
Maybe
last
we should
year.
do shows.
We'll do a separate one for shows, for sure. It was shows with shit.
Last of Us,
Was good.
Mandalorian,
Shit.
Ahsoka.
Bad Batch. Good.
Bad Batch.
Ahsoka.
We're gonna do a
we
rewatch on Ahsoka.
gotta do a rewatch on Ahsoka. I need to say stuff about Ahsoka. We need to rewatch, and then I need to say some stuff because it's good, but it's not as good as we initially said. It's just, yeah, we'll rewatch it, and then I'll say. I don't want to jump the gun too early. But no, that was that was our 2023 ranking. Thank you guys for listening. Long episode. Let us know your favorite movies from 2023. Long episode. But it's good to be doing these long episodes. We haven't done a long episode on the movie pod
We haven't.
ages, so it's good to be doing these episodes again. It's fun and time fucking flies. So maybe if we want time to fly, we'd still long episodes like these because it does not feel like 2 hours, but it was. So no, we'll see you guys next episode on the movie pod. And look out for the Movie Pod 2023 Film Awards coming this weekend on the channel. It's a big one. I put a lot of work into it, so I hope you guys do appreciate it. And anyway, I'll see you all. We'll see you all next episode here on the Movie Pod. Thanks for watching or listening. See you guys.
Bye.